Oh, wait, am I live? Oh, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, now the spy's popping as I go live right away. So, yeah, we have a weird day. You actually started off with the New York courts. They were the ones who were clapping everybody, and they stopped the tariffs. And then Navarro and a lot of people from the morning, everybody was pretty much just saying how nothing changed. And then a couple of minutes ago, we actually just got an update from a Washington court, and then they blocked it as well. There was a lawsuit from one of the toy companies, and then we also got clapped by the other one. Who was it? It wasn't even clapped. It was news. You heard that Jerome Powell is actually met with the president. A lot of people everybody was pretty much just saying how nothing changed, and then, oh yeah, nice. All right, so yeah, you just got to pop here too, and welcome. So you have the wire. We are going to begin Philo, and I can't change the delay, or I can't change the delay, actually. So now, do you guys notice something? Oh, I don't know if they'll notice it. News, you heard that Jerome Powell is actually met with the president. Yeah, that's amazing. All right. So either way, spies pop in. White House to issue new hiring plans for federal workers. And then Thomas Bravo exploring $3 billion sale of software firm Apparis after receiving inbound interest. Who's Apparis? APRYSE, private company. Yeah, it's all private. Oh, I need to turn off DVR. It's going to fuck you up. I don't think I got rid of the ads. That's just YouTube showing you grace. Yes, the latency is extremely low. But you guys thought you were slick. You still have a 30-second delay, mother effer. I'm still one step ahead. They don't realize it. Again, that's why every time y'all press it, it gets worse. They haven't learned this one yet. But yeah, there's still a 30-second delay. I just embedded it into the stream. But yeah, get ready for the bond auction. So let's see where the when issued is at. But that's all that's going to matter. Nvidia price target raise. Hi! So yeah, get ready for it. I don't have the when issue is going to be high or lower, but get ready. Okay, and SPY's still ripping. Again, I'm telling you, this is going to be an excuse to just move. And then Karoline Leavitt's going to go on. So we'll see if she's on schedule. So then we could start Philo or not. Yeah, White House is already live. Where the fuck is the bond auction? Yeah, dude. All right, there's the when issued. Slow. 4.216. Higher, bad. Lower is good. Again, I honestly think the market is just using this all as an excuse. And then same thing with Karoline. So get ready for that. Yeah, SPY back to VWAP. This is where you were at most of the day. Again, latest headline was the Washington court and then your boy Powell meeting Trump. And then now you're going to get this auction results here very shortly. Future Josh is good. Hello. I look forward to meeting you here in the future. 4.194? What the fuck? Yeah, bro. Fat demand. Everybody covered for some reason, too. 2.69 is very strong. I don't know. That could water it down. It might just be covering. It's covering more so than straight demand based off of my first look. But, yeah. So, bro, you had a low that's a really good bond auction, bro. Because that means you had a low when issued coming into it, and then now you got a fucking way, way lower one after. Like I'm saying, bid to cover is very high, everything. Dealers take 4.8%. Whoa. That was a really good auction, bro. Yeah, bro. Bid to cover was 269. That's huge. There's like 25%, 30% more covering. And that's probably why I had a bid leading into it. All right. Good bond auction. Long end was already up there. It was very good bond auction, which makes no sense because everybody was just, oh man, nobody sold up. Oh my gosh, bad bond auction. Yeah, that's crazy. So either way, and then what, HCM, is that Honda? Hutchmed. Oh. All right, well, get ready. I hope Karoline comes out either way. Let me see. Maybe you think we can knock out a Philo before Karoline? So let me go pee and come back, and then we'll see. We're going to be fluid with it.
As soon as tomorrow. Now, finally, Kelly, I'll leave you with this. Two things, actually. One is that just in the last few minutes, we also heard from a different court, this one, the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, also ruling against the administration's reciprocal tariffs and its tariffs against China. So another blow to the trade agenda here, but I will caution, this was a much narrower ruling, only applying to the plaintiffs, these two toy companies that sued the administration, and the judge paused this ruling for 14 days, allowing for time to appeal. So it doesn't take effect immediately, but I flag it because it does show another blow for the administration today in the courts on their trade agenda. Finally, as you can see here, Trump is not without options. The stay could keep tariffs in place, meaning status quo continues, and we know they're already talking about using other statutes, other ways of imposing tariffs, even as these emergency tariffs have to be paused or at least will be appealed and are in limbo for a while. So it's, of course, not the end of the road, Kelly, for this tariff discussion.
No, not at all. Megan, what happened with the toy companies just now?
Yes, this just came out in the last few minutes. This is in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. Toy companies had sued the administration over the reciprocal tariffs and over most, if not all, of the tariffs against China imposed so far this term. They were successful. The judge ruled in their favor, saying that the administration could not collect any tariffs specifically on the companies that had sued them. So in contrast to the Court of International Trade ruling, this one applies only narrowly to the companies that have been involved. The judge also preemptively paused his own ruling for 2 weeks, he says, to allow the companies time, or the administration time, to appeal it. So nothing happens just yet, but it's adding, of course, to the news overnight. Now 2 trade cases in a row coming out against the administration.
Yeah, perhaps we can show shares of Hasbro and Mattel. Not huge moves to the upside, but they are, it looks like they're moving back towards break even on the day on the back of this news. So many different moving pieces to keep track of. Megan, appreciate it for now. Megan Casella. Yeah. Our next guest says this ruling is a major loss for the Trump administration, but warns, like Megan was hinting, that the trade war is far from over. Let's bring in Sarah Bianchi. She's the chief strategist of international and political affairs and public policy at Evercore ISI. Sarah, a lot of speculation today about what the president does when he, suffers a setback like this. Does it just make him kind of double down? And if so, in which direction? In which round of tariffs might he now pursue?
Well, he has a lot of options. As you all noted, he is going to start right now with these courts trying to get a stay on this ruling. I think whether or not he gets the stay is going to really help determine where he goes next. Because if he gets the stay as he hopes and the tariffs remain in place, then he doesn't necessarily really need to pivot right away. He can, just see how this plays out in the courts. But there are a number of other statutes that are available to the president. First of all, a lot of the tariffs stay in place. The sectoral ones are not affected by this ruling, but there are other authorities, whether it be Section 122 or 301 investigations. A lot of places the administration can go from here.
Do you expect that? I think Goldman had hinted that this was their expectation, that he does the 122s, which would allow for 15% blanket tariffs for 150 days. Maybe that could be extended. I think people said no one's ever really tried. But do you think a 15% could replace the baseline 10% for right now?
Well, the court actually noted that there was this Section 122 authority, so they really did point the administration in that direction. My assumption is if they use the 122, they are likely to stay with the 10%. That seems to be the number that they were comfortable with. Of course, some of these reciprocal tariffs that were,
that's still bullish
maybe going
as
to go
fuck,
back
though.
into place.
See, that's the thing, because even that's why the market could still hold up a little bit, because as some people are assuming all of the tariffs go away, no, but like he still might get his baseline 10, which generates some money, but then yeah, it's just not aggressive. So think about that. There's still an element where tariffs, like if you settle at a 10% tariff baseline, that's very, very bullish, especially considering where right now you're probably at an effective 19 or higher, depending on what it else or where it is at. Disney rolling out perks for subscribers. It's probably just a little pump. But take my teeth, sailor. All right, well, we're waiting for Karoline. Let's just run it. What do you guys think? Everybody's on a delay now, because I tried to just say there was a simple punishment, and then everybody complains and talks shit about me, and then they find ways to break the stream and go around it. So now it gets worse. It's the same. Just take it with grace. Why can't anybody do that? Why is it such a problem? So yeah, now there's an embedded delay. Your YouTube latency is 1 second. You're getting it right away. I'm just delaying it straight from the source. So yeah, you got to tell your subscribers that. Japan, China start to work. Yeah, you already got that. But again, we're still at VWAP. Karoline hasn't talked yet. Auction was good, but not enough of an excuse. We need a little bit more. So yeah, other than that, what do you guys think? Should we start? Should we start Philo and pause? You think so? Yeah, I think we could do it. All right, why not? I already see a couple in on it. But watch out for the spy, bud. Yes, baby. Let's go. Amen. Amen. It's time for Philo, punishing customers. I'm not trying to punish anybody. And that's the thing. You made a mistake by thinking I have customers. I don't have any customers. This is not a business. From day one, no customer support. I've told you that. This isn't a business, my brother. This is a cult. This is full-blown a cult. I am the charismatic leader. Well, you know that? And a lot of people here have the hero complex, and you follow the leader. That's what this fucking is. It's a cult. Okay? And now, thank God, I think I've shown good intentions in why I'm here. But yeah, there's no customers. And I think a lot of people make that mistake. And if you think I am going to bow down to $1, you're wrong. That's why. I think all of you, literally, if you're like trying to, and if that's why you may feel entitled and complain, because you think I'm trying to run a business. I'm not. My business is real estate, bro. I make a fuck ton of money at it. You'd be surprised. Literally, I made a video making $1 million in a month, and nobody cared. But hey, it's okay. Point is, that's a Philo for you, bro. For real, because at the end of the day, man, I am here for people. I'm here for a select set of people. You know that? I could sell stuff to all the little gamblers. You know, I definitely could, but I don't want to. Okay? And I hope all of you get with it, and instead of fighting me, realize this sooner rather than later. That's what I was saying. I'm kind of just going through a speed run of all of this instead of, like, you know, that way we don't have to be fake friends for 3 or 4 years for you to fucking backstab somebody and be weird. Let me just get it over with, and that way I'll just press the pedal, and we could do it all in a month. You could go through the I love you, I hate you, I want to be here. Just make your decision up early and soon on why you're here and why you want to be here and what your real intention is. That's a Philo, dog. So amen. And today it kind of relates, and we're going to talk about it. So if you're here right now, you're here because you want to be here. And I want to be here with people that want to be here who care about this. You know that? That's why. And you paid to be here, you guys. Do I regret it? Yes and no. Because I wish more people could hear it, but guess what? If you didn't want to hear this in the first place, it had zero effect. But I love it because I do see some of y'all, oh man, I think we could really focus. And this is what I'm saying. I want to be around people, and I want to spend my time around people that care about their future. Do you understand that? Google 10% tariff. It hasn't moved yet, so be on watch. Again, we just had some more EU stuff. So, that's all it is. Yeah, if you're here for the market insight, unfortunately, it comes with everything else. That's what I'm saying. Amen. And some of you need to grow the fuck up. Because you cannot ask and demand things. ANSS. Oh, yeah, and Synopsis. They're doing it again. Synopsis and ANSS. There is 0 cheap contracts. All right, yeah, ANSS and Synops. I found a cheap one. Yeah, I got a cheap one there. That's what Synopsis suspends guidance. Boom. Breaking. There's 50-cent ones if you could still get them. Okay, they're up a little bit right now, but yeah, I don't know if it got halted. Synopsis receives letter about China export restrictions. Yeah, so both of those. Oh, those hit. Got them. So like I'm saying, in the middle of reprimanding you about how I understand my market insights are great and worth money, unfortunately, it comes with my personality. And a lot of people like to show disrespect and demand that they get everything else. So yeah, it doesn't work like that. And those who are willing to work with me, I will hook you up. But if you're not, you're going to get less and less. It's very simple. Oh, I'm going to hold these. But I don't know. It's kind of moving around. Again, Synopsis is the one. Current assessing impact on business and operating results. Yeah, they got 480, bro. All right, hold on. All right, I made it free. I'm gonna hold a couple more. I have to get my money back. It was big. Yeah, that's just hitting the news, though. Oh, everyone's getting it now because there's a huge delay. Damn. Yeah, CDNS, both of them. I saw it on the low ticker, and that wasn't the. I saw the Google one, but that wasn't it. It was Synopsis and ANSS. Yeah, I saw it on the high ticker or on the low ticker, but then we confirmed it with the other one. Well, yeah, that hit. It's a couple 100%. I found another cheap one. This isn't the main play, though. I'm just rolling over after getting the profits and making it free. Leavitt's live. All right. Yeah, those played. All right, boom. 500 on the other one. That was glorious. And then, yeah, I found a cheap lotto one. White House calls straight court ruling overreach.
Is dependent on foreign adversaries. 3 judges of the U.S. Court of International Trade disagreed and brazenly abused their judicial power
Rationale
to
is
usurp
legally
the authority
sound.
of President Trump to stop him from carrying out the mandate that the American people gave him. These judges failed to acknowledge that the President of the United States has core foreign affairs powers and authority given to him by Congress to protect the United States economy and national security.
What's going on here?
Congress had created the National Emergency Act to provide
Both
the
Tap
congressional
and Bud,
framework to
new
strike
highs.
down
It doesn't look
improper
like news
IEEPA
yet,
use.
but
And any questions
be
over whether
something.
President Trump improperly imposed these IEEPA tariffs were already adjudicated in Congress following Liberation Day. Congress firmly rejected an effort led by Senator Rand Paul and Democrats to terminate the president's reciprocal tariffs. The courts should have no role here. There is a troubling and dangerous trend of unelected judges inserting themselves into the presidential decision-making process. America cannot function if President Trump, or any other president for that matter, has their sensitive diplomatic or trade negotiations railroaded by activist judges. President Trump is in the process of rebalancing America's trading agreements with the entire world, bringing tens of billions of dollars in tariff revenues to our country, and finally ending the United States of America from being ripped off. These judges are threatening to undermine the credibility of the United States on the world stage. The administration has already filed an emergency motion for a stay pending appeal and an immediate administrative stay to strike down this egregious decision. But ultimately, the Supreme Court must put an end to this for the sake of our Constitution and our country. With Congress returning next week, it's critical that Senate Republicans maintain the momentum and quickly pass the One Big Beautiful Bill. The One Big Beautiful
that
Bill
Gasparino?
will truly make America safe.
They're saying
and
rumor that
prosperous.
Trump could
The One Big
sign
Beautiful Bill includes the largest border security investment ever.
Gaza.
That's why the law enforcement
That they
groups are
already
lining
agreed
up
to it.
encourage
Rumor.
its swift passage. The National Fraternal Order of Police, the largest
Yeah,
police
so
union in the
Karoline is
country,
calling
just
on the
endorsed
Supreme
key
Court.
provisions of the bill. The FOP president announced
But now
their
they're
strong
they're just
support,
bringing up
saying
the
the
tax
One Big
bill.
Beautiful Bill Act
Dude, they
is
don't
more
even
than
care about the
legislation.
trade
It
shit,
is a
low
promise
key.
kept to the public safety officers across the country and a bold step toward an economy that respects, rewards, and uplifts the people who keep it safe. And the National Border Patrol Council, which represents nearly 20,000 Border Patrol agents, hailed the legislation as well. The group's president said this legislation provides a once-in-a-generation investment in the border security of our great country and will make America safer. The One Big Beautiful Bill will guarantee
I made the
we can
lotto
permanently
free.
have the safest,
Another
strongest,
100%.
and most secure immigration system in
Boom.
American history.
Back-to-back free
I
ones,
also want
right?
to take the opportunity to debunk some false claims that have been circulating in the press about this bill. The blatantly wrong claim that the One Big Beautiful Bill increases the deficit is based on the Congressional Budget Office and other scorekeepers who use shoddy assumptions.
Dude, it
and
went up another
historically
100 on the
terrible
it's 40 on the
forecasting
bid.
across Democrat and Republican administrations alike. For example, just before Congress enacted the original Trump tax cuts at the end of 2017, the same CBO projected that growth would average a mere 1.9% over the next 10
What's
years.
that noise in the background?
However, by 2019, actual growth had surged to 3.4% once the Trump tax cuts went into effect, exceeding the CBO forecast by nearly 2 full percentage points. The CBO's latest forecast makes the same anemic growth assumptions as they did in 2017, missing the impact of the One Big Beautiful Bill. The CBO assumes long-term GDP growth of an anemic 1.8%, and that is absurd. The
Bitcoin
American
candle,
economy is going to
Coca-Cola,
boom never before. after the One
CL,
Big
couple
Beautiful
staple
Bill has
plays are
passed.
running.
The largest middle-class tax cut in history, massive deregulation, and the most aggressive domestic energy exploration ever will fuel small businesses.
Staples are ripping.
Further boost private
Look at
investment,
every food
increase
staple
workers'
place
wages,
going.
and supercharge economic growth. The Council of Economic Advisors has factored in the effects of all these pro-growth policies and estimated in their own analysis that growth will average 3% in the long run after the One Big Beautiful Bill is passed, which is nearly double the ridiculous CBO projection. This higher growth would result in $4.1 trillion in additional revenue over the next 10 years. Between the common sense spending reforms contained in the One Big Beautiful Bill and the robust economic growth that will be generated as a result of it, there will be no increase.
I'm trying
in the
to teach
deficit.
you guys. You guys
The
don't
same
listen.
analysis from the CEA shows just how this
You will
historic
get all
package
of the
will unleash
trade shit
prosperity
once
and
you
ignite a
master the
blue-collar
long term.
boom across America.
Until you're willing to give
But
it up,
if the
you
radical
won't get it.
Democrats get their way and
No?
the One Big Beautiful Bill does not pass, Americans will face a whopping $4 trillion tax hike. This is unacceptable.
Once
to
you're
President
willing
Trump.
to miss every
President
play
Trump will
for
not
10
allow
years, then
Democrats
you'll
to
get the
massively
place.
raise
Until then, it
Americans'
won't work.
taxes. Senate Republicans
I'm trying to show you
must
the
get
way.
this bill passed.
Free yourself.
Failure is not an option. The American people are counting on Republicans to deliver. In other news, despite all the
Medtronic,
doomcasting from the
Medical's
media,
going
Americans
too,
are growing more
and then
more
Staples
optimistic
just
about
ran.
the economy under this president. Consumer confidence surged in May with the biggest monthly jump in 4 years, smashing expectations. According to the release from the Consumer Confidence Index, the increase in confidence was broad-based across
no
all age
increase
groups,
to
income groups,
deficit
and
from
political
tax bill?
affiliations. Our country
Huh?
is clearly heading in the right direction under President Trump's
Girl,
bold
you starting to
leadership.
sound like
For the
Corinne.
first time in history of Rasmussen polling, a majority of Americans believe the country is on the right track. It's unsurprising because the president is fulfilling the promises he made to the American people.
It's 1,000%
Here in
now
our
on the
new
first
media
one.
seat today, we have the
Big
editor-in-chief
spread, but 30
of The
cents to
Federalist,
$3.
Molly Hemingway.
And then the
The
lottos
Federalist
are
is
up
led
over
by Molly and Sean
120
Davis
cents.
and provides fearless
50.
journalism and coverage of politics and culture to
Even though if it
millions of
bounces.
readers all over the world. Thank you for being here, Molly, and why don't you please kick us off?
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you.
In the first Trump administration, there was an effort to stymie the agenda of Trump through the Russia collusion hoax perpetuated by many people in the media, including some people seated here, or the media outlets they represent, and other Democrats as well. The second Trump administration,
Cadence still dropping
that's what you
too.
said at the beginning, seems to be subject to an effort to stymie the agenda using rogue lower court judges. You mentioned that the Supreme Court could and should do something to rein in these lower court judges. Also, Congress could do something about it, but they don't seem terribly interested in it. It also seems there's not much of an actual coordinated effort from this White House to take and tackle this effort from judges, Democrats and other people using these judges to stymie the agenda. Is there an actual effort by this White House to tackle this issue in a comprehensive way? And if so, what is it?
There is an effort by this administration to tackle these rogue judges and the
Why did you get
injunctions
quiet?
and the blockades that we have faced
Thank you.
in our broken
Yeah, that's
judicial
her audio.
system
They keep moving
in
it.
every case. I mean, we have seen time and time again these lower district court judges ruling against this administration and the president's basic executive authority and powers, and this administration is fighting every single one of those battles in court, including already the block that came down from the Tariff court, the IEPA court last night. And as on my way out
I'm
here to
holding the
briefing
near
room,
the money. I got
understand
rid of
that
the
there was
lottos.
another district court
'Cause
judge
if it
right here in
bounces, they'll
Washington,
die.
D.C. who ruled
You can
against
still
the
ride 'em if
president's
depending
tariff power.
on-
And I will
should
get
hold,
to
though.
the heart of your question, and I'm glad that we are addressing this in the room today because nationwide injunctions ordered against the first Trump administration, Trump 1.0, account for more than half of the injunctions issued in this country since 1963. And President Trump had more injunctions in one full month of office in February than Joe Biden had in 3 years. And let me roll through some of these radical injunctions to paint the picture for the American people at home. These are not just talking points. These are real judges in the court of law who are trying to block the president's power and the policies that he was elected to enact. For example, a court ordered the Trump administration to return already deported terrorist aliens back to the United States. A court has ruled the Trump administration can't even temporarily pause our refugee programs. Courts prohibited the Trump administration from eliminating federal funding for child transgender surgery and mutilation, a practice that the American people overwhelmingly reject. A court also held that the Trump administration could not ban people experiencing gender dysphoria or mental health issues from serving in the military. Ridiculous. Courts prohibited the removal of transgender women from women's prisons despite potential physical harm to real women in those prisons, biological women. A Northern District of California judge issued an absurd ruling that the president cannot fire people within the executive branch without Congress passing a bill, even though Congress has expressly authorized the president through the Office of Personnel Management to authorize reductions in force across agencies. A court also ordered the Trump administration to rehire thousands of already fired employees in several cases. A federal judge blocked the Trump administration from defunding the Department of Education, another signature campaign promise that this president has the power to implement. Courts ordered the Trump administration could not eliminate funding for illegal DEI programs, hence the word illegal. These are illegal programs to begin with, and now the courts are trying to say this president can't roll them back. And a district court judge prohibited the president from issuing any categorical funding freezes. And then another court ordered on top of that the administration makes $2 billion of payments in 36 hours. These are just a few of the ridiculous orders that we have seen from lower district court judges every day, and we hope that the Supreme Court will weigh in and rein them in.
But White House advisor Stephen Miller says it's judicial tyranny. Some people are calling it a judicial coup. You're saying you're responding to each and every one of these actions, efforts by these judges to delay or thwart the implementation of the agenda, but is there going to be anything more than that, or is it just going to let this operation continue, even though it's delayed
cadence.
for years until the presidency is over?
It's related. There's two separate things going on. There's cadence
that we need to comply
and
with
the design
court
stuff,
made that
and
very
then
clear, but
there's
we're going to
this.
fight them in court, and we're
And
going
then
to
there's
win on the
synapses.
merits of these cases because we know we are acting within the president's legal and executive authorities. And thanks for being here. Gabe.
Thank you, Caroline. Question on tariffs, but first actually some foreign policy news, some breaking news. Some local Israeli media is reporting that Prime Minister Netanyahu told hostage families that he's accepted a 60-day truce.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
So can you confirm, have Israel and Hamas agreed to a truce?
I can confirm that Special Envoy Witkoff and the president submitted a ceasefire proposal to Hamas that Israel backed and supported. Israel signed off on this proposal before it was sent to Hamas. I can also confirm that those discussions are continuing, and we hope that a ceasefire in Gaza will take place so we can return all of the hostages home, and that's been a priority from this administration from the beginning. I won't comment further as we are in the midst of this right now.
So to be clear, you don't know if Hamas has accepted it yet?
Not to my knowledge, but certainly if that becomes case and this ceasefire goes into effect, you'll hear it directly from myself, the
I
president.
don't know if
and
she said she
Special Envoy
talked to the president.
On
to be
tariffs,
honest.
Kevin Hassett earlier this morning, he brushed off a legal ruling and called it a hiccup, and he said that trade deal negotiations would continue. Why would other countries continue these trade deal negotiations given the ruling?
Because other countries around the world have faith in the negotiator-in-chief, President Donald J. Trump. And they also probably see how ridiculous this ruling is, and they understand that the administration is going to win, and we intend to win. We already filed an emergency appeal. We expect to fight this battle all the way to the Supreme Court. These other countries should also know, and they do know, that the president reserves other tariff authorities, Section 232, for example, to ensure that America's interests are being restored around the world. But I can confirm that our
Bro,
ambassador,
Synopsis is
Mr.
moving,
James
but the
Clear, already
premiums
heard from
aren't.
countries around the
Even the
world
lottos,
saying
they
that
haven't even
intend to
fucking moved.
continue
They're
with
still
these
holding
negotiations.
100%.
Peter.
Thank you, Caroline.
Peter.
So many of the president's plans right now are being blocked by courts. If the
It's true.
courts are going to be the ones who are shaping policy, does the president wish he would have just become a judge instead?
I think the president would take this job over being a judge, and certainly the president is acting within his authority. He wishes judges would do the same.
But so the courts are basically telling you guys they think that the White House's policies, the president's policies, are in some way against the law. So why can't President Trump ask the Republicans that control the House and the Republicans that control the Senate just to make a new law?
Well, these laws have already been granted to the president by the Constitution and by laws that have been previously passed. I'll give you another example. For instance, we've been blocked in court for the revocation of visas from individuals who have the privilege of studying in the United States of America. Secretary of State Rubio has simply used his authority to revoke those visas, to revoke that privilege, and we've seen the courts try to block that. So if these judges want to be the Secretary of State or they want to be the president, they can run for office themselves. It should be the other way around. But all of the actions the president has taken rely on legal authorities that have already been granted to him by our nation's existing laws.
And on a different topic, there are some folks in President Biden's inner circle who are now in talks with Republicans in Congress to give interviews about how they may have handled President Biden's decline. Is the president satisfied?
Futu and
with
ARM. ARM's
these
been going down on the
only
chip
sitting
design
for these
shit.
transcribed interviews,
They
or
are
would
linked
you also
to
like
that.
to see some kind of testimony from the former First Lady, Dr. Biden?
I think, frankly, the former First Lady should certainly speak up about what she saw in regards to her husband and when she saw it and what she knew, because I think
She's snitching?
anybody looking
Jill?
again at the videos and photo evidence of Joe Biden with your own eyes and a little bit of common sense can see this was a clear cover-up, and Jill Biden was certainly complicit in that cover-up. There's documentation, video evidence of her clearly shielding her husband away from the cameras. They were just on The View last week. She was saying everything is fine. She's still lying to the American people. She still thinks the American public are so stupid that they're going to believe her lies. And frankly, it's insulting, and she needs to answer for it. Ouija.
Caroline, President Trump was asked.
Oh, so she's
about
not
Elon
snitching.
Musk's claim that the
She
Big
holding it
Beautiful
down, bro.
Bill increases the budget deficit and undermines the work of Doge. And the president didn't actually comment on those remarks. He just talked about the need to support the bill. So what does the president think about what Elon Musk said?
Well,
EA
the
dropping.
president is very proud of the One Big Beautiful Bill, and he wants to see it pass. He wants the Senate to get to work on it and send it to his desk as quickly as possible. Of course, as you know, Elon Musk announced last night his departure as an official special government employee from the Trump administration. We thank him for his service. We thank him for getting Doge off of the ground, and the efforts to cut waste, fraud, and abuse will continue.
So he doesn't have any comment about Musk saying it adds to the deficit and it undermines all his work?
The president commented on this. I commented on it. I told you that this bill saves $1.6 trillion according to the Council of Economic Advisors and the analyses that the president believes in. So he gave a comment, I gave a comment. Just because you don't like that comment doesn't mean it's not a comment. Rachel.
Thanks, Caroline. Back on trade, I know you said the White House is going to fight this ruling in court. Is the administration actively reviewing other avenues, other options to carry out the president's trade policy?
The president's trade policy will continue. We will comply with the court orders, but yes, the president has other legal authorities where he can implement tariffs. However, it does not dispute the fact that the president was right to declare a national emergency when it came to fentanyl and when it came to our crippling deficits and the lack of critical supply chains here at home. That is the reasoning for the president's tariffs, and the court didn't dispute those facts, by the way. And there have been other courts that have reaffirmed the president's position. In fact,
honestly, bro, I think this is
earlier
turning
this month
into nothing.
Shows that the administration
So we
is
might
in
be
the
able to
right.
get in
Said
a
we
few-
will
he hasn't
win
said
on
shit.
appeal. A federal district judge
So
in
literally,
Florida ruled that IEPA, in fact,
they're
does
talking
grant the
about it
president
now, but
the authority to
they're just
unilaterally
saying the
impose
court.
tariffs.
This is what
And
I'm
20
saying.
years
They're
ago,
just
I
going
will
back
add,
and
they
forth.
are not a court. The
They're
New
gonna
York
do
Times
the
editorial
Friday
board responded
appeal,
to the January 20,
and then they're
2005
gonna.
trade
They still
deficit
have another
of
plan regardless,
$58.3
but
billion by writing an
they're just
editorial
doing the
entitled
messaging.
Dangerous
They're just
Deficits.
standing. They
And
stand on
since then, our
business.
trade deficit has
And then
more
you're
than
gonna hear
doubled.
this
The
back and
US trade
forth,
deficit
but
in January
none of this
totaled
is
a whopping
actionable or moving the needle at all.
$131.4 billion. So people on both sides of the aisle, pundits, lawyers, legal scholars, politicians have all agreed that it is a national emergency, our trade deficits and our lack of critical supply chains here at home. It's just President Trump was
Look,
the
you're back
first
to
president
bond
to actually
auction.
act
Yields are
on
just
it,
holding.
to restore that wealth and that prosperity to the United States of America. And it's very unfortunate that the courts are now blocking his
I'll
attempt
give him
to
like
do
5 more
that.
minutes.
Should then reach the point where you are actually asking your economic advisors to start reviewing other avenues to implement the president's trade policy, or do you want to just see this legal process take place for now?
We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We are doing both. Josh.
The Fed says the president met with the Fed chair earlier today. I'm wondering if you can give us any readout of that meeting. The Fed also says that they discussed the economy. I imagine the president might have shared views on rates as well, but what can you
Sure.
share?
I can share with you that we saw, the president and I both saw the statement that the Fed put out after the meeting. That statement is correct. However, the president did say that he believes the Fed chair is making a mistake by not lowering interest rates, which is putting us at an economic disadvantage
Yeah, how come no one's
to
asking
China
about this
and
meeting?
other countries. And the president's been very vocal about that, both publicly and now I can reveal privately as well.
Did he speak at all about his plans for that position, but whether he would seek to move Jay Powell out of that position or keep him in until his term ends?
Again, this question.
Ask very quickly on the tariff question. You mentioned Section 232 earlier. Are you suggesting that you might sort of speed up some of the existing 232 investigations? Or are you talking potentially using 232 as a replacement power if this ruling doesn't go your way? Of course, you hope it does.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm just simply stating the fact that the president has other legal authorities he can use to implement tariffs, and the administration is willing to use those. As you know, we already have
but they
applied Section
can't do it at
232
the
tariffs
same
on
rate.
specific industries.
That's the caveat.
President Trump said that he needed 1.5.
That's the thing. He could do 10%, but that's extremely bullish.
Vladimir Putin wanted
That's the thing. Every other option doesn't allow him to do 150% or 50 or whatever.
1.5 to 2 weeks.
All other options end with 10.
Well, it is my
Damn,
understanding,
Nvidia
it is our
flushing.
hope that Russia and
That's going to
Ukraine
bring
will
you
be
down now, but you're already
talks
starting to
and
sell. But that's a
negotiations
new
next
low on
week in
Nvidia.
Istanbul.
You got
And
double
we believe
washed,
that
but
meeting is going to take
Synapses
place,
and
and that is
Boeing,
meeting the
they're going to
president's
pay.
encouraged and urged for these two sides to come together and negotiate directly. And
But
the
yeah, I think
president
it's just
has been
Nvidia
clear
and
from
big
the very
tech
beginning of
moving.
this conflict
But like
that
I'm
he
telling
wants
you,
to see
whatever
this conflict
she's
solved
saying
on
in the other
negotiating
options,
table, not on the battlefield.
there
He's
literally
told
is-
that to both
it's just
leaders, again,
10%.
both publicly and privately. So hopefully next week it will move the ball forward in this.
He's going to participate in those conversations.
We will let you know if the president plans to send a representative. I'm not tracking that at this time. Kelly in the back.
he did say he doesn't.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's a big deal because this was the first time this administration, this period, that Trump and Powell have met.
Pending transfer was initiated by the Trump administration. So is this something that the White House is going to do?
The amount of questions we've received, and we've been incredibly clear, and I have answered this, the president has answered this, the Department of Defense has answered this. This is a government-to-government gift transfer from the Qataris to the Department of Defense, to the United States Air Force. It is now in their hands, and for further details on where that stands, I would defer you to the Department of Defense and the United States Air Force. I have nothing more for you on that. Deanna.
Thanks, Caroline. 2 questions, one on Big Beautiful Bill, one on immigration.
Sure.
Yesterday, Trump said, we will be negotiating that bill, and I'm not happy about certain aspects of it, but I'm thrilled by other aspects of it. Wondering if you could, share any specifics on that. And on immigration, do you know how many illegal migrants have taken Trump's voucher program so far and have deported themselves?
I believe it's in the thousands of those who have chosen the easier route of self-deportation, and we certainly encourage all illegal aliens who are present within our homeland to take that option. It's a much more pleasant option than being deported, and we will deport you if you're here illegally. That's our intention. As for the first question, what the president was speaking about is how this is a great bill. However, it has come as a result of a hard negotiation. It's difficult to get things done on Capitol Hill, but thanks to President Trump, this bill is moving in the right direction. And thanks to House Republicans and the leadership over there as well, who did a great job mediating both sides of the caucus to move this bill to the Senate. And now the president, again, has told his friends on the Senate side and is already engaged in those conversations to get that bill back to his desk as soon as possible. Sure.
Has this administration been briefed about the incident that happened in Gaza on Tuesday during the rollout of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation distribution of aid to Palestinians there? And should there be a ceasefire, will this administration continue to rely on this foundation for the distribution of aid to civilians?
Are you referring, what incident are you referring to?
Tuesday,
when the aid was rolled out to Gaza for the first time in many months, and meals and food was given to hungry people thanks to President Trump. Yes, we were briefed on that plan. The president was the reason that aid went into Gaza, and he got the Israelis to support that plan. And I would add that the previous administration rejected the plan to ensure that these starving and devastated people in the Gaza Strip were given humanitarian aid and assistance. And it was the previous administration that tried to build this pier, if you all remember it. It was brought to my attention this morning, and I thought that's a good point. Why don't I bring that up? Because there's been so much criticism. In fact, it was on the front page of a newspaper this morning about the criticism for this president having a humanitarian heart and giving people badly needed food and supplies. Nobody wanted to talk about.
So do you guys know what they're trying to do with this question?
Endeavor. They built this pier.
It's because they took a video of them handing out the food, but then apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, where they handed out the food, it was like next to like a camp or something where people were like getting either killed or held against their will or something like that. So people saw it in as a, what's the word I'm looking for? Bad taste. Yeah, that's why I think she asked the question, and that's why Karoline's getting defensive. Because they're trying to spin it as that, but then she's like, we just gave food for the first time, finally.
Cite studies that appear to not exist. We know that because in part, we reached out to some of the listed authors who said that they didn't write the studies cited. So I want to ask, does the White House have confidence that the information coming from HHS can be trusted?
Yes, we have complete confidence in Secretary Kennedy and his team at HHS. I understand there were some formatting issues with the Maha report that are being addressed, and the report will be updated, but it does not
AP on the low and then
negate
Under
the
Armour.
substance of the report, which, as you know,
Dude,
is
I
one
can't
of the
believe
most
this was
transformative
supposed to be a
health reports
10%
that's ever
day
been
for
released
Nike.
by the federal government. Is
They're
in
doing
fact on
nothing.
good
And
science
bouncing
that's
off
never been
VWAP.
recognized by the federal government.
Arm again.
Talk
I
about
put out a
what
lotto to
tools,
watch.
Or research
Oh
goes
shit,
into
those hit.
production of these kinds of reports. For instance,
Damn,
is
I
it
should have
AI
taken
that's
that one.
used to put together these reports now?
I can't speak to that. I would defer you to the Department of Health and Human Services. What I know is just what I told you. Lindsay.
Caroline. Many small businesses that we've talked to since the tariffs have been in place have said what would really help them is a long-term plan so that they can catch up. In light of what's happened now, this trade war with the courts, how will that impact this 90-day window? Will you guys be adjusting that? And how can you help relieve some of these small businesses?
Well, I would
Literally, bro. Every play
nobody
worked except for
understands the needs
Nvidia.
of business owners. Nobody has the backs of our small business community.
The one play
Nor
we're
the
talking
legislative
about, we're like, all right, I'll tell you which ones not to go to.
Talk about
Should have
this
got
with
to
small
none of them.
business owners
Every other
who
play
felt
hit
that small
today.
businesses are
Boeing,
truly the
Synopsis,
backbone of our
even the
American
fucking
economy.
ARM.
And
I
that's
didn't
why
even
the
take the
president
ARM. I
is
said
supporting
just
the
watch
One
that
Big
one.
Beautiful
Nah.
Bill. So for
ARM
those
is
folks
related
who
to
are
the
asking
chip
for a
design
long-term
shit. It's just a
plan,
lotto.
big tax
That's why I
cuts
put
are
a
coming their
30%
way.
out
No
the money
tax on
one.
tips, no tax
And it
on
was
overtime
cheap
for
and
their
it doubled
workers,
almost.
more money in
So
their
yeah.
pockets. Their bottom lines will be larger. They can pay their people more. Wages are going to go up. Inflation will continue to come down. We've already seen
Bitcoin.
energy prices plummeting as a result of this president's economic and energy agenda that he has been implementing across the federal government, reducing burdensome regulation. All of that is good news for small business owners across the country. That's why they strongly support the president, and that's the Trump economic plan that is underway. And again, you're emphasizing, I believe, the need to pass the One Big Beautiful Bill, and the president wants to see that happen. Sure.
Will you still work within that 90-day window for these trade negotiations? Does that still stand?
Again, as far as we're concerned, our trade agenda is moving forward, and we've already heard from countries around the world today who.
So they're acting like nothing. Yeah, Bitcoin's dumping right now. Most of the prints on the low tech are all Bitcoin.
Expect to win this case in court. Sure.
On Golden Dome, the president put out this number of $61 billion. How did he arrive at that? Is that the number it will cost to protect Canada, and is it negotiable, or where did it come from?
I can certainly ask the president, and I can check in with our research team, and we'll get you the facts on that number. But the Golden Dome is certainly a significant investment in our nation's national security and homeland security to protect Americans, all of you in this room, from future threats.
Any readout on have the Canadians been talking in good faith about paying to be in it? I know they've expressed some interest.
Well, the president has certainly expressed to the Canadians how we are essentially subsidizing their national defense. He brought it up in his meeting with their new leader here, and as you know, we'll be traveling to Canada next month for the G7, so I expect that topic of discussion to come up on that trip as well. Sure.
Hi, thanks, Caroline. There was a May Day USA rally in Seattle that happened over the weekend that devolved into some protests and riots. The Seattle mayor,
I don't know why ARM is dumping, but I think I know why. It's related to what I just said.
By promoting beliefs that are inherently opposed to our city's values, which he defined as LGBT values. I know the FBI is looking into this, but has the president reached out to the mayor at all, asked him to apologize for this, and is this something that the administration would consider an example of anti-Christian bias?
I'm not aware of that case. I know the FBI is looking into it, but I'm not aware of any phone calls the president may or may not have made to the mayor of that city.
And then on Doge, we know that Elon Musk is leaving. Do you have an updated leadership structure for who is leading the group? Is Russ Vought involved? And what is its new mission now, if any?
Well, the entire cabinet is involved, and I spoke to the president about it.
Hyundai weighs across the border
cabinet
price
understands the
increase
need to
for
cut
U.S.
government
vehicles.
Waste, fraud, and abuse. And each cabinet secretary.
Bro,
of their
Nvidia
respective
now.
agencies is
Nvidia
committed
again,
to that.
Synopsis.
That's why they
Nvidia
were
was like
working
holding
hand in hand
good,
with
but
Elon Musk, and they'll continue
all
to
the
work
chips
with
are kind of getting
respective
dragged down.
Doge
But
employees who have
Nvidia,
onboarded
watch
as
now. If
political
Apple,
appointees
Google, and the rest
at
don't
all
come
of
up,
these agencies. So
that'll bring us
surely the
down.
mission of
Otherwise,
Doge will
Nvidia goes
continue,
down, the rest
and
come
many
up.
Doge employees are now political appointees and employees of our government, and to the best of my knowledge, all of them intend to stay and continue this important work.
Is there a Doge leader taking the place of Mr. Musk?
Well, again, the Doge leaders are each and every member of the president's cabinet and the president himself, who is wholeheartedly committed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from our government. Mike.
Oh yeah, that was my job.
Caroline, there's conflicting
But I
reports
retired.
from the police right now. Saudi television network Al Arabia is saying that Israel and Hamas have agreed to a 60-day ceasefire. Sources with Hamas are saying that has not been agreed to. If and when that
Yeah,
does
that
happen, we'll be
ceasefire
expecting
rumor keeps
something from
hitting.
President Trump,
They've asked it
mentioning
three.
that.
They've
As I
asked
said
about that
earlier,
more than
yes,
Powell
indeed.
going to the White
If
House.
there is an announcement to be made, it will come from the White House, the president, myself, or Special Envoy Witkoff.
Caroline, one big beautiful bill. The president says he's not happy with all aspects of it.
I want to keep listening, but I don't.
What changes would he like
It
to
just
see
sucks
be
because
made?
this
And
was like
can
the
this
only
bill
other
be both
event
big
today.
and beautiful?
That's why I'm like, ah.
It is a one big beautiful bill, as the
But it
name
has
rings
nothing has
true.
been notable
And
so
the
far.
president, as I said,
I mean,
is
you could
currently
kind of
working,
see it in the
with his
price
friends
action.
in the Senate, who have some recommendations.
Honestly, just
for the
business
bill.
as usual,
Those
bro.
negotiations and
They're
discussions
gonna
are
just go back and
continuing,
forth
but
on the trade
President's
stuff.
ultimate priority is to get this bill
Then you're
back
getting
to
that
his
Hyundai
signature.
as soon as
And
next
the president's
week.
priorities in this bill are
Uh-oh, you guys.
non-negotiable in terms of the tax
So even
priorities
though they
he wants to
block the
see
tariffs,
and the large
Hyundai is right.
tax
You better
cuts
get
and
your
the border
Hyundais quick.
investments that are,
Bro,
currently
you
in
better
this
run and
bill
get your
is
Hyundai.
not going to allow them to go away for the
You know
American
that?
people.
By 1% raise and other
I want
fees.
to ask you about has the president spoken to any
Fucking
of these
Donald
foreign
Trump.
leaders
Now I gotta
about
go buy my Hyundais
these
before they get
agreements that have been
expensive.
reached, specifically the case of the United
Oh,
Kingdom
fuck.
that already has an agreement
Tesla.
in place after this decision of the court in New York.
Has the president talked to foreign leaders about what?
About the court decision. in New
Dude, the Wire is just reiterating the 90-day window. Tesla
Oh, the
dying.
trade court decision. He did speak to the leader of Japan.
I think
this
even
morning,
Stellantis,
and
too.
he said
Watch
that was
all
a
the
very good
automakers.
call and a good discussion. And as I said, the president's cabinet secretary.
No, it's mainly Tesla, though.
Bessent
So
and
again,
Ambassador
that's
Jameson
another
Lewis
one.
called
Nvidia
the
and
their
Tesla.
counterparts in
If
countries
Apple
around the
goes and
world to let them know
Microsoft,
the
you're
United
gonna
States
come
is
back
still
down.
at the negotiating table, and we still expect countries around the world to treat us fairly. Again, I will just close by saying that how ridiculous it is that have been ripped off. Our middle class has been hollowed out. Our manufacturing base has left.
Nothing
and
on
gone
Tesla
overseas.
for
Jobs
now,
have
but I'm
been
looking.
offshored. And now no court did anything about that. No court did anything about hundreds of thousands of people being put out of work, about thousands of factories being closed down, about our deficits going to dangerous levels, as the New York Times has said. But now a court is trying to stop a president from trying to correct those wrongs.
That's the thing, because like I'm saying, she sound like Caroline. She been sounding like Corinne a little bit.
And it's a promise they elected
But
him on.
at the end of the day, don't let that distract you from the fact that how did our deficits get this high without any motherfucker stepping in? And now Donald Trump, they do. I don't agree with that.
Pennsylvania, where he will
I don't
discuss,
agree with their big
this
spending bill
steel
either,
deal
but
and
I don't
discuss
agree with this
American
judge's
jobs and
bullshit.
American steel, and we hope to see you all there. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank God it's over. I think we're gonna dump on there being no news, but it's just yesterday, you guys. We might go a lot lower, or you'll stay within the range. But yeah, man, they wiped all premiums. We should have took profit on the plays that were up in the morning. I only took profit on one of 3 of them, so that sucked. Like I said, the only play I told you guys about, Nvidia, that was the only one that didn't hit. We hit on Boeing and everything else, but dude, today is very uncertain. I think we got more uncertainty than we got like a catalyst. It was just all it was just a unexpected bomb of uncertainty. And I even think as a result, you're hearing it, bro. They're gonna just go and chug along and see, and we'll see if we end up at 10 or we'll end up at 50. But yeah, this just got really fucking odd, man. But hey, welcome to Philo, baby. Oh, yo, utilities and energy plays are popping right now. A little bit of gold, too. But what up, baby? Philo time. So, yeah, I was already, even then, right before I hit another one of those 1,000%ers, I was just telling y'all, it's Philo, man. And if you're going to complain and cry, that's too bad. Because if you have a long term, you don't give a fuck. If you've been following along, you benefiting off the good stuff. You ain't being a crackhead, getting mad and emotional and angry. I told you, bro, gamblers, all my gambling friends are angry. Every single one of them. You know that? That's why when I do something and y'all get mad and y'all start questioning, you're like, well, what about this? And then you make it such a deep thing, and then you talk shit about this and everything, you know? Very gambling of you. You know that? You're gambling even with your relationships. I don't know if you knew that, but either way, point is, man, you are here for a reason. And if you're not here for a reason, I hope my annoyingness makes you think about why you're really here. Amen. So during Philo, I'm going to talk about Jesus, God, life. I'm here to talk to my people that care about the future, because I care about the future. And if you care about your future, I care about you too. And I want to make sure you get everything you need. You don't care about your future, then I don't, you know what I'm saying? I have no ill will towards you. But yeah, bro, I got to turn up the meditation music, you know, make sure it hits. But yeah, I got no ill will towards you, but I don't care. You see what I'm saying? Nobody cares. Why? You tell me you don't care about your future, I'm not going to let you drag me or my friends with you. I don't care. No one cares. Make up your mind. But you care about your future, I really hope this message lands, bro. All of them. But especially today. And that being said, you don't care about it. Some of you need to learn to have respect. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to go out of your way to like get in the way and make a little side-eye comment, I'm going to go out of my way to make you pay $5 again. It's very simple. You don't want to deal with Philo? Shh. You could actually, if you don't, the irony about that is if you don't care about the Philo, you should listen to the Philo and be silent. It'll help. But all I care about is stock news breaking. Because again, you just saw it right in front of you. I will get it very early. I'm still focused. I hope you are too. You got to make your choice. Core Weave and Premium's dying. No. So that being said, Chad, I don't even know if I have an intro. Because I got a long one. I could make it an intro, but I got a big one today, man. And I love it. That's what I'm saying. I hope you get it. And I hope this one lands, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, Chad, can I remind you today, all of you, that the ego, it only survives off of the past. I don't know if you knew that. So let me ask you guys a question. I want you to think about the thing that you have been dealing with. Think about your biggest struggle. The thing that has been emotionally taxing. Right? I want you to think about the thing right now that is getting in your way in life. Bro, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's still going, bro. Why is it moving like something happened? I'll look for the news. I want you to keep thinking about your biggest problem right now. I don't see anything on Tesla, but it's going. It's going red to green right now. So yeah, bro, it's very simple. Think about your biggest problem in life. That big challenge, the emotions, everything. Did that problem happen today? Do you hear me right now? Whatever you thought about, your biggest problem, did it happen today? My brother, did your biggest event, the worst thing that's dealing with your emotions, did it happen today, or are you handcuffed to the past? My brother, we don't suffer because of today. You know that? You don't wake up mad, bro. You're not mad about what happened today, even if you played Nvidia. Stop it. Bro, as humans, we suffer because of yesterday. Turn on the news. The drama is all about stuff that's happened already, no? And if it's not yesterday we cling to, then it's because we're clinging too tightly to a future that doesn't exist yet. No? Think about it. We were like, oh, this has to happen. Oh no, this is gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. And then it doesn't even exist. That's the problem with the markets right now. We don't know what exists in the future. For real. If it's really good, if it's really bad, all this. Yeah, you are breaking down, bro, one at a time. Coinbase is going now. It started with Tesla subtly, actually Nvidia, and then Synopsys and all of those. But yeah, you're slowly working down. It'll probably be a choppy breakdown until we get here again, or until we get a headline. But all I have is the Hyundai news. That was the latest one. Amen. Yes. The power of now. I love this. You know what the funniest part, the thing I'm telling you guys right now, do you know what this is from? This is old. This isn't even the Bible. This is a speech by Napoleon Hill. Once again, you know all of this stuff. All I'm doing is reminding you. You realize that, right? One of the best things I do is just remind you guys at the right time. Nothing is new. Are you holding on to the future too tightly? Or are you feeding your ego with the past? Being handcuffed to yesterday? Bro, the ego is all your past. The past wants you to listen to old stories, replay the memories like warnings. Oh yeah, you remember that pain? That's proof right there. That's exactly why you shouldn't try. Pain. See, you remember that? Remember that happened? Remember the ex-wife? Yeah, you guys keep saying, remember the ex-wife? Pain, don't do it again, stop trying. Yeah, but the reality, the truth is that the past is powerless unless you keep feeding it. And now let me ask you, how many times have you fed it today, this week, this month? The past is useless until you keep breathing life into it. Stop focusing on the old story. Stop telling me about why the things that happened long ago are the reason why you can't do something today. Believe me, there is stuff that limits you in life, my brother. I understand. This isn't, oh, well, what about... And I have stuff like that in my own life. You're not the only one. But it is what you are saying. It's now. You have to live in now. But even better, this is what I love it. This is what I'm here. I think it will explain more and more. I've experienced this more, and I want a lot of you to experience it more. You guys haven't, how many times have we talked about letting go? Have you not realized mother effers can't let go? Why does this Philo keep hitting? Because you haven't let go yet, bro. Come on. Listen, bro, I'm not even mad. Because I understand. I've been there, bro. But yeah, that's why it keeps hitting. I'm here to give you another answer. The answer, my friend, is detachment. You must be detached. Have you not realized this? That's why a lot of things, bro, y'all don't get it. You think I want customers? No, I'm very detached from all of this. I have to be, brother. Detached doesn't mean that you're cold or giving up. But it means letting go of things that you were not meant to control in the first place. Do you understand? Some of you need to be involved in your life, your work, your job, your goals, and be so involved in it, but you need to be detached. Some of you are going to change the world, and I think you are going to achieve very good things in wealth, but my friend, that's not going to happen until you're detached about it. Again, it doesn't mean that you are cold. It does not mean you are giving up. Detachment doesn't mean I don't care about something. No. It's the opposite, actually. It means I know I can't control these things to begin with. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to show up fully, but I'm not going to grip on so tightly. Oh, y'all don't feel me. Let me say that again. I am going to show up fully, but I'm not going to grip. I'm not holding on to something. You're going to lose. I'm not going to lose anything that because it wasn't meant to be mine to begin with then. If I could lose it, what are you talking about? Foolish. I hope you hear me. Because let me ask you, how many things are you showing up to fully, but bro, you gripping onto that like it's life or death? No? Nah, you don't. Really? I see it every day in the chat, bro. That's why I'm telling y'all, you want the plays, bro? You want the plays, you gonna get them, dog. Not until you let go of them completely. I don't think you guys really realize the honesty in what I'm saying. I'm not trolling you. I need you to show up fully. Give such an effort. Bro, wake up earlier than me, damn it. I want you to show up fully without, oh my gosh, it's life or death. If I don't get this, I'm ruined. If I don't get this, my emotions. If I don't get this, I'm what? Why is it like that? That is a choice, brother. You are gripping on to a dream or a good thing, and it's good having more money, working hard, increasing your income, finding a better occupation, dude. Those are not bad things. I support that. But I also believe you need to let go a little bit. You cannot be gripping to this idea and these things, and I need it, and it's so, like, think about this stress. I just know I started to get more in my life when I started to stop gripping onto it. You know, you got a dog? Do any of you got a dog that you give it a treat and then you try to take the treat, or you go near it, the dog get defensive? Right? You know what I'm talking about? It's like, bro, if you weren't gripping onto that treat so tight, I probably would have gave the dog another one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the fear of losing. There's many ways. It's fear of losing it, fear of not having it, not being confident enough in your abilities. There's a lot of reasons. I'm not going to hold you to just one. I don't care what the reason is, and I encourage you to stop caring what the reason is too, because it doesn't matter. You let go. Again, I need you to position yourself in the right place. That's what I'm saying, bro. You put yourself in this chat. You position yourself aligned with what we're doing here. Even if you don't understand it, I don't think you're going to end off worse. Oh, y'all don't feel me. You don't need to grip onto it because I'm saying, I think you're going to end up good if all you do is save money and get the long term. Avoid gambling, avoid paying more, come on. Think about it. So you know what I'm saying. Yeah, bro. You need to show up fully, give it your all, but you cannot hold on to it as if it's the only option in this world, because it's not. And once you are willing to do that, bro, oh, that's it. You stop being reactive. You start being responsive. You see what I'm saying? You now move from desperation to direction. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Even if you don't understand what's going on here, I will get you in the direction I'm pointing everybody. Yeah, if you're a gambler, you're not going to like it. But the direction I'm pointing the shit, bro, everybody fucking wins. I don't want to hear it. Because as long as you point in the right direction, bro, it doesn't matter what happened. Y'all really don't get this, huh? I don't think people get it. You don't get it? Look. Put yourself in the right direction. Who cares what happens? That's why you don't need a grip. Do you understand? There's no longer, I'm gripping out of desperation. It's no, I have direction. Whether this works or it doesn't work, I know exactly where I'm going. Do you? Ask anybody with a long term. They know where the long term's going. Especially after 5 years. Do you not know where it's going? How many of you know where it's going way more today than you did 2 years ago? You know where it's going. You have direction. No longer desperation. In the beginning, you might have been more desperate. Saving your little $200. That just turned into direction now. Now it's a house. You know exactly where it's going. Again, it's not reactive. I'm gripping so tight. I need to react to everything that happens. No, I could respond to the situations appropriately. How do I respond to what? I don't need to be so reactive. I now could have a response. I have an answer. Come on. Do you not get it? Dude, this is the secret. One of many I've shared with you. Y'all need to start realizing. Doesn't matter what you do. Does not matter what happened. Are you on the right path or not? Are you in the right direction or not? That's all. That's why I'm saying all these wrong direction mother effers, I don't want to be near you. You know why? Because I don't know what the hell gonna happen. I just need to be in the right direction. That's it. I don't got time for anything but that. Do I know the future? I don't. Do I know what's gonna happen? I don't. Am I special? I am not. But I'm gonna point myself in the right direction. That's it. Yeah, you got Intel chatter on patent ruling. So see, I don't know if it's gonna pop off yet. I don't see premiums yet. Yeah, man, I hope y'all feel me. Oh, good work, Alyssa. Amen. That's all you need to do, though, Chad. Be in the right direction. Do you understand me? Long-term, life. Your social circle. Point yourself in the right direction right now. Let go and stop clinging. You don't need to know anything, and who cares what's going to happen as long as you are pointed in the right direction. Do you understand? You don't have to be negative. Amen. Because the moment you decide and turn the direction, who cares how it progresses as long as you're pointed in the right direction. I cannot stress this enough. Come on. Have you ever lost something only to realize you didn't need it? You ever held on to somebody so tightly only to realize how much the weight really is and how negatively it affects you? No? I know you have. We all have. Let go. Stop clinging. That's what you'll realize. Sometimes you have to lose it for you to realize you didn't need it. Sometimes it has to break you for you to realize that you're not bulletproof. And yeah, that did hold me down. Let go, bro. That's the answer. Timelines, expectations, let go of it. Not because you don't care, but you care too much to let it break your spirit, dude. What are you saying? Because you need to keep going in the right direction. Stop overwhelming yourself. Stop gripping so much that you're not letting life actually go through you. Again, through. You have to go through. Sound familiar? Life is going to flow to you when you start letting go. You're no longer resisting things that are happening. Do you realize that? Every time you cling to something, that means you're resisting something else. Or you're afraid of something else. Y'all don't think clinging has to do with fear? Okay, ask the puppy about it. Once you stop forcing and start allowing, that's where everything is going to change. Once you stop forcing and start allowing, that's where everything is going to change. So, Chad, be detached, my friends. Take heart. Don't lose your spirit. The way you're going to do that is by stop clinging. Can you allow life to flow through you or not? Yeah, Nimbus is coming down. I wanted to overlay it with Core Weave. So, they're pretty much in tandem. Every chip thing is getting drained right now. But it did stop after that. I'm surprised. I thought it would have got more melty. State Department will not tolerate Chinese parties' exploitation of university property. So, yeah, man. I love this Philo. And I hope all of you live it. That's it, man. You just put yourself in the right direction, in the right areas, man. You know, like, it's crazy. Because when you do it, it's like, do you not get it? It's actually kind of funny. Because right when you make this decision, bro, there is a lot more peace to be had. It's actually nuts. And everybody wants to get something out of life. But we all want it to happen this one way and one way. We have no idea what's going to happen. Start allowing things. And that doesn't mean allow yourself to get on the wrong path. It means that you allow, hey, whether it works or not, I know that I'm on the right path. So, Chad, I'll leave you with this one. The final things. The whole point of what I'm saying with this detachment and all of it, dude. It is so that no matter what happens, win or lose, good, bad, no matter what, bro. If you are detached, you no longer need constant verification and proof and clarity on if you're on the right path or not. You already know you are. Do you understand? Wow. I hope you guys get this, bro. I hope you get this. That's the point. Bro, Core Weave's down to 112 now. Yeah, so Nibis and both of them are going to go down with it. But yeah, bro, I really hope y'all get this. That's the whole point of this detachment. How can I be detached and let go and allow and all this? Because, bro, no matter what happens, I don't need a constant proof or something to work my way to know that I'm on the right path. Do you understand? That's the whole point. That's what some of y'all need to lock down. You get this right now, bro. Oh, yeah. Watch what happens. But until you get this, that's why you're going to, every setback, you're going to be like, am I doing the right thing? Is this really for me? How do I know? That's why I'm telling you, decide and decide now. Decide early. That's the secret. And you get going. But again, this is the problem. We cling to things so much. And that's why when we cling and it doesn't happen how we want it to, we like, oh, I mean, is this the right thing? Should I change? Is this? No matter what happens, I don't need constant verification and confirmation. I do not need events and God to come down every damn day and everything to work my way for me to know I'm in the right direction. What are you saying? The sooner you figure this out and start living in it, you will not be disappointed. Tell me life doesn't start flowing. Tell me life doesn't start. Life will stop happening to you. It's going to start flowing to you and through you. You'll see what I'm talking about. You allow things. How do you allow them? That's how I allow them. No matter what, I know what path I'm on. I don't need a confirmation every morning, every day, every night. No, none of you do. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you're going to be able to reap the harvest. So let go, Chad. You've heard it many times before. Stop living off of the past and start living now. All that matters is now. This is truly the only moment you get. You know that, right? That's it. People waste now. They waste it chained to yesterday. Or they're waiting for clarity or permission or something, bro. You don't need it. You need to know. And there is things you know, and you need to start getting confidence in that. But above all else, point yourself in the right direction. Stop clinging. Be detached. Show up fully, but stop caring if it goes a certain way or not. That's not what changes everything. There's more to it. So I hope you feel me. I hope you take that to the bank. Core Weave, the marty everyone's dumping, and now that is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. You're on mobile, press hot chat, X out the chat. Hit the thumbs up button. Oh, I'm just going back to the default. But yeah, you're starting to dump more. And again, literally all of the chip plays, bro. So like Nvidia is still green, but now it's a slaughter fest on Core Weave, bro. Core Weave, all the chip designers, it hit, bro. That ARM lotto pretty much. That one went up a little bit, but the whole idea of like it kind of phasing into some of these other plays, that definitely happened. Alright, he's going down still. Well, on that note, I'll get you some uncle, but I'd be locked in. No headlines, but you are just kind of still fading from the morning. It's been all day. Same theme as yesterday. Like news down to price action. Wait, what? Bro, Scott Besson is live right now.
I look forward to hearing them and watching the videos, and I look forward to learning more about the efforts of all the 23 agencies. The representation here today from a wide array of government organizations affiliated with the FELAC is important. We each play roles in our respective offices, but let's not forget there's only so much we can do through the arm of government. That's why state, local, and private institutions are crucial. Only by working in close partnership with them can we expand financial literacy to the families and communities that need it most. These state and local organizations are boots on the ground. Because of them, the majority of states now include a course in financial education as a high school graduation requirement. This is excellent progress, but we still have a ways to go and we need to get there together. Let's take stock of the progress we've made today, then let's discuss what more we can do to empower citizens to achieve the American dream through financial literacy,
financial education,
mastery, and ending with financial security. So with that, I'll hand it back over to the Vice Chair, Mark Calabria.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me open it up. Well, first of all, let me thank the panel. I appreciate all the remarks. That was incredibly helpful.
Scotty B.
I'll use this moment to perhaps ask a question. The phrasing of our panel is the efficiency of programs. My question is kind of the efficiency cross programs. Some programs are delivered in person in classrooms, some are delivered online, some may be delivered partnership with industry, some are delivered just before or around purchase. And so I would be curious to hear what the literature has to say in differences across those various characteristics within programs.
I'm going to start with some academic research on this topic and actually showing and echoing what Jerry had said, that it's really important to design programs which are suitable to the target population. For people that think that there are huge differences between in-person and online, surprisingly they are not as large, and I think we see a lot of promising in, I think, various methods of deliveries. So when it comes, for example, to the high school and to the college, we have seen a lot of promises in that part. I think programs that really meet people where they are, I think are particularly successful. And this is why, as we think of all of this program, this is something that we need to consider. I also want to mention the spillover effect that we see also of the programs, and I think there might be even spillover across these groups as well, because by, for example, informing young people about home ownership, we might actually have some spillover effect in other financial decisions. We see, for example, when we teach personal finance at Stanford, one quarter of our students are first generations, and so that knowledge is brought back to their parents and their community as well. So I think we need to think a lot also about the spillover effect.
Yemen missile threat.
I just like to add that the meeting people where they are and being creative and letting financial education be fun at times can be helpful. That's certainly true with children. We have a partnership with the American Library Association to deliver digital and in-person programming. And again, it's under evaluation right now. We'll have the results shortly, but we've seen from previous iterations of this that the two can be the same. But just recently, the program manager was telling me about, 6 to 8 year olds learning by playing a game about insurance. And that was the thing that they were most engaged about. And how amazing is that? Through workplace efforts that we've been doing, we've been finding that, leveraging not only the employer and a local financial institution, often credit unions actually, but having a nonprofit that can be a resource coordinator can help people where they are, so that again, even within a single workplace program, it's not a one-size-fits-all element. And I'll just close by saying I thought I'd never meet anyone who had their first job at age 9, but I did too.
Mr. Secretary, pleasure to see you, and thank you for your remarks. 2 quick points. One is a personal one. I think we in government should not be afraid to innovate and partner with the private sector. Too often we're in this separate world, and I think the key to our office's culture has been given the freedom to innovate at HUD. I think about a recent graduate of an HBCU, a student. When I first met him, he told me that he never valued the concept of home ownership. And I asked him why, and he had just completed a homeownership education program and counseling with one of our organizations. And he told me the story of how he was foreclosed upon. His parents were foreclosed upon during the financial crisis, and he was prompted and had to move into his grandparents' home with his entire family. And so he didn't value homeownership, but how the homeownership education course was an awakening for him. And when I saw him again, he is graduating from college, and as a new graduate entering his career, he bought his first townhome. That's the magic of what we all do together. The other aspect of, I think, what's really important in the work that we do, and something to consider as we move forward, is that it's okay in government to try something new, like our new home ownership initiative, and adapt and change on the move. And then we are more successful. And again, I'm very appreciative because we have leadership at HUD now that is allowing us to really streamline programs and get the job done. Thank you.
Thanks. I think the research question regarding the effectiveness of financial education delivered in different methods is a really, really interesting one. And I think there's no single right answer to this. As has been mentioned, I think there's some evidence in the research community that different channels can be effective. And we've even seen that at the FDIC. Today I talked about our program evaluation of How Money Smart Are You, which is the technology-based, asynchronous digital product. But we previously evaluated our Money Smart curriculum, and we did a longitudinal evaluation of the in-person instructor-led Money Smart, and we found that to be effective. This was almost 20 years
on
ago
the high
now,
now. That's
when
weird.
that product was
Remember
first
Philip
introduced.
Morris in those? But
we
yeah,
found that,
people are rotating the
participants who
staples.
took that classroom-based training were more likely to open bank accounts.
So
were
create,
more
you might
likely
be
to
new.
saving,
I'll give you
were more
time. Read all the
confident about
rules and
managing their
chill for a little.
finances.
This is
So,
a listen
again, I think
first
there's
community.
No right answer.
So just
I think
listen,
having
and all the
many different
answers will
types
come. But
of
I'll give you some
resources
time to
available
read it.
for different people, and just having a lot of options is really going to be the key.
Bro, have we even heard from Besant? All right, let me go get a protein, bro.
Sorry.
But yeah, we're still
Yes,
doing
I
this dance
agree
through
with
the
all
lows.
that's
We're
been
probably
said.
just like yesterday.
But
We
I
might
also
hit
want
the
to
level
echo some of the opening
and then
remarks
just
where we're
random
talking
shit.
about some of the difficulty and the talking about money being taboo, and how important it is to bring fun even to the adult. Okay, so that it is a less stressful environment because you'll have better learning outcomes there as well. Thanks.
Bro, Wells Fargo.
Thank you all. The secretary needs to depart, so we want to thank you very much for your
they've already jacked
participation
all of
and
the
your
Wells
wise
Fargos.
words to us.
Fuck.
Thank you.
Good, and thank you for all of you are doing.
Damn it. Yeah, Wells Fargo, but they jacked
Well, I think we've got a few minutes for other panel members, commission members who may have some discussion. So if there are questions, I'm happy to recognize other members.
I don't know what the news is, but it's popping. Yeah,
Well,
you
if
can't
not,
get them.
I'm also.
They're going.
Kyle?
I'm gonna wait.
You don't want to be the guy that keeps the meeting going longer than it's supposed to, you know.
I do.
But,
I'm not necessarily encouraging other questions. Just open it up.
All right, I'll just throw on a. Can I ask how often you encounter people? Part of the reason they're up against it financially, is because of charges by government itself. The state and local in particular, the federal government's not that bad.
I got
For example,
one.
every state in this country that has a usury limit for lending, they all have one thing.
Confirms termination of 2015 OCC agreements. I'm not familiar with how much money that'll be.
Well, the ruling issued by that three-judge panel states that Trump does not have the power to issue sweeping tariffs across almost every country.
All right, well, that was supposed to be best. I grabbed a 3-cent one. It only filled me on 10 of them. I was trying to get more, but $30, I found one. I think it's related to one of the ratios or something they have to hold. So it is deregulation, but I just don't know how good it'll be. Like I'm saying, I got a mover on it, but yeah, I think they're all a dud. Yeah, they leveled it. I'm glad though. I was gonna pay for one of the other ones. I was like, that's too crazy. They jacked up the chain right away. I went for the dog shit one, but it was cheap and then it didn't move. It's bullish for the company for sure. I just don't know how bullish. That's the thing, because I know one of them, like in 2018, they had like an overhang of like a couple $1 billion of fines, and then they had to do stuff for regulation to be compliant. So if they don't have to do that, that's what's good. But depending on, I don't know the details of it. So like I'm saying, I know it's bullish. I just don't know how bullish. I wasn't confident enough to play it near the money. So I just grabbed this. I spent $30 for time just in case. Because if you've seen Wells Fargo, some of these like news plays on it, it could really, really run if you get it cheap enough. But you need the right like crazy news. Either way. Bro, Core Weave. 108. Bro, it was at 1:30 this morning. Disgusting. Core Weave volume is actually above average too. Ironically enough. Nvidia is at 276 volume. Now it's expecting 377 million. I know, wasn't it 5 in the morning? I forgot. I'm dropping. Yeah, I only got clapped on Nvidia. That was it. I did take them. We should have ignored them, but the first one should have waited on the one with no time. The one with time for next week, I'm not even tripping on it. I think that one still could be in play, but that was the bad one. They got, but then Core Weave I didn't touch except for making free like 2 days ago. Some of the puts are 1,000%. The synopsis, the first one was 1,000, the other one still held 100. Then the Boeing was the other hitter. That was crazy. City being in Europe makes me feel better about the U.S. City CEO. Wells Fargo's still holding, but barely. Remember, you had that GM news, and who was the other one? UAL. We had that early, and then that did come down. But everyone's still waiting, bro. It's a fucked up day. I think a lot of premium crushed, but I'm telling you, the uncertainty injection is unreal. I think Core Weave, the gap, the top is like 106. And then SPY trying to come up, but I think it's just that little Nvidia bounce without anything else moving. Couple energy plays. Oh yeah, bro. I need to go get a protein. I was gonna do it, and then Wells Fargo came out. So yeah, I love you, Chad. We'll do some off topics when I come back. But yeah, BRB. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. You should have by now. Now, BRB. Oh, that's an ad. Never mind, I won't BRB. No one. Everybody's BRBing right now. Power Hour will be interesting. Even tomorrow, Friday, end of the week, carrot or stick, and now we have all this drama. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one. Alright, well, once I can hit the party, I will. Market looks unsure. Well, remember what led us here. Remember, you were hating the rally before, and you've done this multiple times. So it's not as if the market's too unsure. Like, you're still at a high point, but there's there's a lot more different question marks. This is just new question marks. Like I'm saying, everybody had a whole different set of like explanations and narrative up until today. Now we have to talk about a 10% baseline or not. How do they chug forward? What does this do to the Fed? What does this do to the money that was collected? And then, yeah, so like we said, just choppy year, 100%, yep. And welcome. So it's going to be wild. But that's where we're at, really. All right, man. Anybody? Will take a few days. Well, we got to see what they do with the courts. Because like I said, I hope too, so you guys can understand it better. You know how everybody is saying, like, they just say numbers like 121, 131, 230, and they say all these different, like, tariff numbers he could use. That is true, and he can go forward with tariffs, but pretty much none of them will allow him to, none of them will allow him to tariff at the rate that he is now. They all pretty much will let him do a 10% blanket tariff, and that's about it. So that's where it's like there is a way where this just ends up bullish. That's why I think, bro, and even then, no one's talking about it. What are we saying? Jerome Powell went to the White House yesterday. So I really think they had that talk. Because again, if Trump has to settle at 10% tariffs, what does that mean for Powell and the Fed? Why are they uncertain? No, literally, like seriously, like all jokes aside, what do you mean then? You guys for 6 months have said you're uncertain on this policy, and without it, inflation was already coming down, so I don't know. But yeah, man, SPY's kind of moving. Let's see if we could string something. That would be nice. How SPY faded today. I think Navarro in the morning, most people just didn't listen to it. It's funny, after I played it to you, the market listened, but I do think it's uncertainty. This was just, I thought there would have been a bigger side of like bullishness, and there was good in it, but I think the uncertainty was kind of overwhelming. But this isn't a bad day. I don't know, I think underwhelming, and maybe, like I'm saying, uncertain, but it's not as if this was a bad day. But I don't think much really changed. And now we're going to have a much more uncertain future. So yeah, happy Friday, Junior, Chattadonia. M. Russ, Kroger, TRV. All right, a lot of things are popping. Small ones. And Kroger's about to go green. Core Weave, mollywopped. Synopsis premiums are still up, dog. That's crazy. Bud and Tap, too. I've been seeing that. Pepsi. Looks so nice. Now we're at 520. Oh, Visa going up. See, I don't think Wells Fargo, but watch Nvidia and Apple too. But yeah, Wells Fargo is still holding, but no juice. Nvidia's like holding you down, but also helping you up. And then Boeing is having a big effect too. Oops, wrong window. That's why today would be even uglier if Boeing didn't play along. All right.
Kind of catch up from where we were. Please remember that in May, we had 17 vessel arrivals canceled. Most of those were the nonstop services out of China, the workhorse vessels that come direct here to LA.
Do you see it getting better? Like, do we have a window into like July and August, Gene? Because if the volumes don't pick up, then it appears the trade war is kind of still on, even if the tariffs are not still on.
Yeah, I don't see any evidence right now. And again, for retailers and parts suppliers alike to start putting these orders in at more normalized levels, there's going to have to be some permanency to the policy moving forward. And through an appellate process or using other tools on the tariff angle, as well as where we're going to go with these negotiated bilateral framework deals, a lot remains to be answered.
Well, we're glad you're here to answer it and give us real-world data on where things are going. Gene Soroka, Executive Director of the Port of Los Angeles. Gene, you're welcome back anytime. Thank you very much.
And let's get to Kate Rooney in the meantime for a CNBC News update. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kelly. A judge denied bail today for a crypto investor charged in the kidnapping and torture of an Italian tourist in New York City. Police say John Waltz and another man lured the victim into a townhouse in Manhattan in a bid to get his Bitcoin wallet password and then tortured him for 17 days when he refused to hand that over. Waltz has been indicted and is scheduled to be arraigned on June 11th. Meanwhile, British police charged a 53-year-old man for driving a minivan into a crowd of people in England, celebrating Liverpool FC's Premier League championship on Monday. Nearly 80 people were reported injured. Paul Doyle is now charged with dangerous driving and causing grievous bodily harm with intent, among other offenses, but he is due to appear in court tomorrow. And finally, the star-studded Broadway season is now the highest-grossing season on record, bringing in nearly $1.9 billion. That's slightly above the previous record-holding season back in 2018 to 2019, which grossed $1.83 billion. Stars, including George Clooney, Denzel Washington, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Sadie Sink have all scored big roles in various productions this season. Kelly, back over to you.
So glad to hear it. Glad it hasn't gone the way of the movies, which I know are having a bigger struggle to make a comeback. Kate, thanks very much. Kate Rooney.
Thanks, Kelly.
United Airlines is returning to New York's JFK Airport for the first time in years with a little assist from Arrival. We'll get the full details next.
Crypto Watch is sponsored by Crypto.com. Crypto.com is America's premier crypto platform.
Brought to you by Tesla. I'm eating beef jerky. Protein. Certainty of a hard landing? No. Again, if there's no bro, if Trump can only do 10% tariffs and they let him spend 1.8 trillion, that's the most bullish shit I've heard. So you guys understand? So if Trump max could tariff only 10% and he gonna just deregulate banks, give everybody a tax cut and everything else, and they allow it in that bill, I think it's very bullish. That's why I'm kind of confused why the underpositioned Democrats did that. But that being said, have no certainty. Okay, you guys? I hope you understand that that's still going to be the killer. Dude, it's a shit show. As always, it's very simple. Let them fight, and then you pick up the pieces while they're still fighting, and it gets cheap enough where you come in. And that's it. Ta-da. Isn't it bearish because USA is going bankrupt? We're only bankrupt if they stop funding us. So again, this has been happening. So like, legitimately, some of you had this concern 4 years ago. But you have to ask yourself, why weren't you worried about this it was worse. It was the same thing 4 years ago. It's just getting worse. How did we get here? Edwards Life Sciences and GSK, I don't know, not too much. And Baxter, something with medical devices right now. It doesn't look big, but in a world where nothing is really moving, that catches my eye. Look at EW, and then just any med devices. We saw Medtronic earlier. But yeah, do you guys get it?
AC Plus.
Ah! But do you understand what your guys' job is? Your job is just pick up the good pieces. Let everybody fight. It's going to be a shit show. That's what I'm saying. Your job is to not get brainwashed to join the team and join a team of certainty and be like, oh yeah, okay, no, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, nobody cared about the spending. That's why it's just odd that we're here now, and it always will be a concern. But as long as people keep using the dollar and the UK and Tether and everybody keeps buying our bonds, then the show goes on. But I would argue it's worse now, but it's generally the same thing you dealt with 4 years ago. Just once again, the old generation is willing to spend and kick the can. And even though Donald Trump ran on the campaign of, not spending a lot of money, and although they are trimming a lot of wasteful spending, they're still spending a lot of money. So but then again, I mean, I don't think they were just going to let Biden. That's what's ending up happening, is that Biden and everybody, they all spend a shit ton of money, and I think Trump is like, nah, we're getting some too. Yeah, Uber's been down all day. Cybercab news. I think the cybercabs are crazy now. I see why all of y'all been crackheads about it, but I just see it on a bigger picture scale right now. After driving in Waymos and seeing it, bro, holy fuck, we are really close to automation in the physical world, you guys. I don't think, if you've never driven in a Waymo, it's scary. Not because no one's driving, but dude, I can't believe it actually. That's an automated vehicle. That is one step closer to a world where shit is automated by robots. MMT does say our debt never matters. Yes, as long as we keep spending and buying. Or our partners do. CRM highest. Let's see what has volume. Bro, defense. But dude, volumes are so low, you guys. Holy shit. Yeah, CRM has a shit ton of volume. It's trading 370% its monthly volume right now. It's really high. And then Nvidia, surprisingly, Salesforce has more volume than Nvidia. And then Boeing is number 2 on the day. And then Honeywell, and then Broadcom, and then Intel, surprisingly. Intel has a shit ton of volume today. I don't know where that stacks up, though. Yeah, bro. Intel is above average. So Intel is trading above average for this time and on the day, and then it's expected to. I use the self-driving in the Tesla, but I'm telling, and that blew my mind. I remember that, but it didn't give me the same future feel. Like I'm telling you, bro, Waymo, in the cities that they operate, this shit runs, bro. And it is literally, you hail a car, a robot, and it drives you around. It avoids traffic. It does everything. It's crazy. But I'm like, damn, in the real world, in modern times, it's not like this idea of robots automating and everybody like loses their job shit. Maybe that could be elite, but the whole automation shit, it's way closer than you think. It's there. It's already here. I don't even know how to describe it. That's what I'm saying. Even I'm like a young boomer, but I'm blown away. It's here. It's right. Already. No. I'm talking Waymo. I'm talking self-driving, but more so, fuck that. Once they have that, I'm talking like automated cities and shit, bro. Like straight up, you are really close to the whole robot shit. No, I know what their hack is though. I noticed it right when I got in, cause bro, you know me, guys. I told you, I don't trust none of this shit. I said way more people need to die, but of course, a hot girl got me to go inside of one. Of course, like any man, that's it. My girl show up and she's like, "Let's do it," and I'm like, "No," and she's like, "Yeah, come on, it'll be fun." Oh, and I'm like, "No, fuck, all right, we all gonna die. I ain't doing this shit." But of course, the pretty face gets a man to succumb. And then I go, and bro, do you know what the hack is? I'm like freaked out, right? And right when you get in the car, before you even put on your seatbelt, this homeboy fucking floors it and goes. And that's the hack. I realized it. Because right when I sat down in the car, they got that bitch rolling before I had time to even think about it. I didn't even have time to be scared. That Waymo was already rolling, bro. Right when I sat down in it. And I was like, holy shit, this is genius. Because before I was thinking of all the fear and everything, bro, I'm already moving. I've already began my trip. I had no time to back out. I was like, oh no, bro. Yeah, but that's a prophecy. You know how many men are gonna die because girls got them to go use AI? You know that? Because I did it, bro. I did not want to do it. You had no idea. Oh, yeah. But then I kept seeing it. I was like, bro, I saw like 1,000 of them. And I was like, dude, no one's dying. It kind of reminds me of the whole Pfizer situation, but don't get me started. But yeah, I kept seeing everybody drive a Waymo, bro. And I was like, damn it, bro, no one died. I saw like 1,000 of them go in front of me, and I'm like, but damn it, no one's dying, so. Shit. And then, yeah, I can't believe it, bro. Yeah, it just locks the doors and takes off. It's crazy. I have it all on tape. I have it video. I need time to edit the video, though. I didn't have time. I didn't want to. So, yeah, I have a video for you guys. My first ever time in a Waymo. I think I have it here. Let me see if I could get you some audio uncut. Straight from my phone. Let me see. This shit was terrifying, bro. It was cool, though. I'm telling you, I definitely... Yeah, is this it? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Bro, do you know what happened, too? Listen to this. Look, I have this recorded. You're asking me to intervene with a guy yelling at her. I'm like, you have two choices right now. I risk my life in this Waymo, or I risk my life in an altercation with drunk people. Okay. Yeah, so before, as we're waiting for this Waymo to pull up, it was the wildest street corner I've been on. There's one guy getting yelled at by his girl, and they're like crying on the bench, yelling at each other. And I'm like, what? And she's like, get away from me! Get away from me! And like all this crazy shit. And then a guy walks out of a restaurant with a girl, and they're like laughing and smiling. And then he's like, wait, you're not gonna go home with me? And then she gets mad at him and starts throwing her phone and pushing the guy. And now they're fighting, and then both of this is going on as this automated vehicle is about to fucking decapitate me or some shit. And I'm like, oh, great. And then my girl is like, can you do something? She looks at me. My girl asks me, I'm like, you want me to intervene between two drunk people assaulting each other? You really think? And that's what I record. I'm like, girl, you have to make up your mind. I either stop this altercation or I get into this Waymo. And she chose the Waymo. Ain't that some shit? No, this was not San Diego. But yeah, this was crazy. That was the clip. But yeah, here it is.
Holy fuck, it's mine. It said, look at it, it said GG, bro.
Yeah. I made the Waymo. You could set your like title on the Waymo. I set mine to GG. You know, I thought that was cute.
Oh yeah, unlock. Oh shit. While I'm recording. Go, baby. Go.
Look.
Yo, no one in here?
I sit down.
Brother.
Listen. Door closed.
Start the ride.
Boom. I'm moving.
I ain't listening to the safety drill, bro.
Bro, it just takes off. And that's it. Bro, it was a trip, dude. It was a trip. And then Spy is dumping. They waited till I finished my story. It's almost power hour. I don't have a headline yet, but eyes. Decent red. Did she say hi to the car? Yeah, I think. I don't think you realize how weird we are, bro. We have a jolly old time. We be talking to fucking inanimate objects all the time. Dude, I do that a lot. I think I taught her that, but yeah, terrible, bro. I don't know what it is. It's probably Apple or Microsoft. Yep, Apple at the low. It's Apple. It's gonna be Apple. It's the same dynamic as the morning, bro. I know that was dude. I have a lot of funny clips from this weekend. Yeah, it was too much to edit though. It was too long. And then we went to a cool place. I went to a nice restaurant, and then I got attacked. It was, but not by people, by bugs. It was terrible. Well, yeah, you guys need a vlog. I might have to bundle a couple of vlogs together. That's it. Or who wants to edit them? If you've seen my face before, you could edit them for me. Because they take so long to edit. We're doing good. Honestly, the bond auction was really good. But then Karoline was a dud. They just kind of said they're going to keep going with trade as normal. They told the Supreme Court to shoot it down, and that's it. But generally, it's still the same vibe. And then it's a mix of yesterday and then the news, but uncertainty is that's what you're walking away with, you know? We put in a lot from last night till today. A lot of emotions, a lot of ideas, but you're walking away with uncertainty. All right, is there any other off-topic questions? This is your moment if you have any. Otherwise, I'll free them. Oh, B-Fire? Yeah, you could edit them. I'm kind of down. How long does it edit? It takes a long time. Probably takes like 2 hours. Depending on how many clips there are. Then you got to move all the clips. Then you got to scrub it for my face. It's terrible. My long term is phenomenal. If I told you my long term today, you'd be shocked. Surprisingly, on like $250,000, we are down $270. So I'm down. I'm down. Let's see, where's this? Yeah, what the fuck? Spot, you're down more on the small account. That's crazy. So Spotify, that helped the small account, but today it hurts it. I think you could bring food or drink. Like I said, my second Waymo ever. So the first one, I filmed it. The second Waymo I ever ordered, I get in the car and there's an open beer and it smells like throw up. So that was negative. The rendering doesn't take long, but the actual editing, that takes a while. I want to see if you guys know any AI editing stuff. I would love some recommendations. I've always waited for the day where AI can just do face tracking. That's the day I'm going to start making more prank videos. Because then if I could just film myself in public recording these pranks, and then I just have the AI just edit my face. Oh, dude, you have no idea. We do. We need to start trolling the world again. That was a good time. You need to take... Do you guys see this, though? This thing hasn't moved all day. So this little wire, you guys sacrificed the Twitch for it. But this thing right here, if that shit moves, you better call it out. You better call it out. So yeah, that's the thing right there. But that there hasn't been one. Not one fucking merger or anything came through today. Not one per... Yesterday, all of these were yesterday. Isn't that crazy? Up until right here. So from here all the way up, that's all yesterday. Today, there's nothing. It hit during Philo? No, all of my things say May 28th. This wire hit during, but the other one, no. This one right here, the one in the bottom left. Roshni Capital. Well, that's the thing. My Uber driver on the way to the hotel, he told me something about Waymos. Apparently, and this is inappropriate, so viewer discretion, but apparently the Uber driver told me that there is something called the Waymo High Club. S-Bet Martin Shkreli Long. Oh, he's pumping at the high. Wow. Well, I saw this one at a fucking $1, and I said no. But yeah, this is just like CEP, but more scammy because you don't know about it. CEP has Cantor. But yeah, remember they said 450 million pipe was the news. RGA. But yeah, so the Uber driver told me there's a Waymo High Club. So you know, like the Mile High Club? That's what people are doing in Waymo. And that's disgusting. But I was like, dude, because not like, dude, it smells so disgusting in those Waymos. That's the thing. They all just have a weird smell. When it smells like throw up, it's terrible. But the natural scent of a Waymo is terrible. Because people don't turn on the AC. They're dumb as shit. They don't know that, like, you know what I'm saying? So every time, okay, Big Red again. Not big, but actually the VIX popped on that, or that was VXX. So honestly, not too big yet. Nothing. Wait, currencies today. If there's no currency move, I think everything's fake. Hamas official says proposal doesn't meet people's demands. U.S. Appeals Court reinstates Trump tariffs pending appeal. I think that's it. Yeah. Chad has it too. So, all right, see if we go down. But that's an answer. That's good information. Because now you know the high tariffs stay in place. So it doesn't matter what they say. Now you're back to square one. It's the same. All right, not bad. Well, yeah, kind of in a weird way now. Nothing happens. So that's it. We're back to square one. There was literally nothing. So literally the, all of it, yeah, now you're going to be uncertain, but now you know. This is what I kept saying all day last night. I'm like, dude, we don't know if the tariffs are going to be here still. So that's it. Now, if they stay in place during appeal, then that is not bullish. Then you go back to normal. Now everybody's duties, everything in customs is getting hit with a fee right now, which is good. That means you're paying. That means Trump could still negotiate during this appeal, and now mother effers are kind of locked in that little box of appeal, but still have the high fee. Yeah, we took 4 right turns to pretty much go in the same direction. Yeah, now it's exactly the same as Monday with a lot more drama. You still have uncertainty. It's not good for the market, but it's good for Trump because now you have policy intact. And it's good for clarity, to be honest. Because like I'm telling you, now I know. Now I have an answer, as does everybody else on Wall Street. Now we know that literally this stuff, it's no matter what they say in the news back and forth, there is still a tariff until the appeals court says yes or no. So now what should you be looking for? The appeals court decision. If the appeals court says green light, yeah, you could block it, then it gets bullish again. If not, then an appeals court says Trump has full ability, then you're back, nothing changed. So yeah, more info, both broadly, this whole event added uncertainty, but now knowing that they will still be charging tariffs during appeal, that's a big piece of info. So yeah, we know a little bit about it. Not bad. So yeah, look, the market didn't move because the market already moved. It gave you that little one, but generally, you already sold off everything to begin with. You see what I'm saying? So look it, you were at 587.55 before you knew the judges were blocking it. So now you're at 588.60. You're just up 1 point. That's it. And then Nvidia is still up 3%. Make no mistake. So yeah, I don't know. You're back to, it's nothing. Market already unwound it. We did that in the first hour or so. But that was ridiculous. So this is awful. And then S-Bet, again, Martin Shkreli on that one. Doesn't this legitimize... If Trump comes out winning, then yeah, it will. I don't know. Shkreli likes to short a lot of garbage. And he just got clobbered on a short squeeze with, like, the Rigettis and all that. But... very odd. Yeah, but this company, it was just weird. This was a very small company. And then they got a $450 million investment for crypto. We saw this pre-market. I remember I went over this 2 to 3 days ago, but it just got away from us. And I was like, yeah, everyone's playing the whole CEP, crypto acquisition companies. Let me see. Maybe I should make one. I should turn into a Republican grifter. Maybe. We'll see. But this YouTube's been paying good, though. I can't lie. But yeah, I can make a SPAC. Should I make a SPAC to buy crypto? I'm going to say you guys are going to pay me to buy crypto and houses. I'm going to buy Bitcoin with the money to buy Bitcoin and then houses if I don't buy Bitcoin. So you're just giving me money to buy Bitcoin, and I'll give you 10% of it for 90% of the dollars you provide. Deal? Okay, we'll look into it. Effective for months. I bought small. That's what he said? Well, interesting. Come on. But dude, this is the new wave. Everybody's doing it. Like I told you a couple weeks ago, right when we played CEP, I still have those shares are up 100%. Everybody is doing the whole like crypto acquisition thing, and they're just monetizing Bitcoin now. Everybody's selling Bitcoin like they're still early. No, this is the monetization stage. Now everybody is selling, and they're just selling again this, what was it called? BPS, Bitcoin per share. One of the wildest concepts I've ever heard. So you make a company and it's not evaluated based on performance. Like I'm saying, if you gave me a bunch of money and I told you my objective is buy crypto, how can you evaluate my profit and loss? It's hard with crypto. And my performance, how will you know I'm doing my job? So that's where people are making up this thing called Bitcoin per share. So that's how you can evaluate it. Does your BPS go higher or lower? So if you buy a company that's job is to acquire Bitcoin, how many Bitcoins per share performance do you get? Dude, it's a wild concept. Yeah, so but that's the state. That's what all of these companies are doing. That's what a CEP, that's what all these companies pretty much are doing. They're like, here's the thing. Bitcoin, I made a fortune off Bitcoin. Bitcoin was great if you got in very early, a while ago. Some of you even bought it again at 10,000 with me. But now the profitable thing about Bitcoin isn't Bitcoin. It's buying Bitcoin. Does that make sense? The job of buying Bitcoin is more profitable than the coin. I don't think they feel me. It's a great asset. It's holding up. Again, I love Bitcoin. I'm just telling you what's happening on Wall Street. People get paid to buy Bitcoin. That's a job. You get it? They're literally making companies that revolve around the purpose of just buying Bitcoin. They say, what do you do? I buy Bitcoin. What do you mean? That's my job. What's your job? To buy Bitcoin. How do you know you're doing a good job? I have more Bitcoin. Do you care what price the Bitcoin's at? No, as long as I have more Bitcoin. Wait, what? My job is to buy Bitcoin. The job is what is profitable. Does that make sense? Yes, it has become a job to buy it. And that job is more profitable than, again, like the guy's buying at 70, 80,000. It goes to 100. That's great. That's 20%. That's not the, again, our last purchase live on stream was $10,000. You get what I'm saying? That's 10x. We're in a different world now, and everybody is hand over fist buying it, and it's doing all this. The job is the monetization. Again, people are getting paid to acquire it. Sailor and all these other copycats, the job, the money is because they're going and buying it. But it's not necessarily the coin. Yes, it's the hottest thing to sell right now, exactly. Your job is to buy Bitcoin. It's a trip. It really is. That's why I bought CEP right away. I said this is a scam, and we bought it sub $20, made it free, and hold it forever and call it a day. But it's really weird, bro. It's really, really weird. And that is something I've I've watched Bitcoin since the day it was born, so I've seen a lot, and this is just Wall Street doing what Wall Street does as well, because I also know Wall Street. These are two worlds confounding, and now you're watching the salespeople go to work. Isn't it like soul skimming? It's just monetization. It's kind of like a REIT. They're trying to turn Bitcoin evaluation into REITs. Just like a REIT, your job is to buy property, right? But you have to pay out X amount of profits to shareholders. Again, you don't generate cash flow off of Bitcoin. You can't do that. You can only do Bitcoin per share. So, but they, like, like FFO and other ways they value REITs by looking at the rents and other stuff. They're trying to do that to Bitcoin, but I don't know if it's like that. Josh Saylor, but you actually buy it. I think real estate. That's it. Unfortunately, I think Bitcoin is going to cause a lot of problems. Not because Bitcoin is bad. Again, that's what sucks. It's very contradicting. You have to live in the contradiction. Because I love Bitcoin. Again, it changed my life. It really did. And it's great. And I believed in it from day one. Literally. A lot, even Ethereum, like literally from day one. But I don't like Wall Street. And unfortunately, we let them get their greedy hands on it. And everybody caved so hard, bro. The OG Bitcoiners versus even today was disgusting. Again, what we've done and seen is ridiculous. But hey, the past is the past. We won't feed off of that. The point is, Wall Street has now, they've hyped up the coin and collateralized it way too much. And I think it could be a major source of problems in the future, unfortunately. So I think Bitcoin's a great thing, and I love it. I still believe in it, still own it. But yeah, I do think Wall Street is going to make a big mess, as they always do. When have they not? From mortgages down to fucking, go ask Milken, damn it. But yeah, it's not there. The wealth, it already happened. That's what I'm saying. You got to be careful. I'm a little Egyptian boy, and I did very well. Bitcoin helped take my family out of that. That's over. Unless it goes 100K to $1 million, that's what they're selling now. That's the idea they're selling. But do you see what I'm saying? It's the more Wall Street gets involved, the more it's going to trade like a stock. It's not, and it's not going to be like Nvidia, more or less. So, unfortunately, it's like, no, I think there's going to be a collapse, and Bitcoin will survive, but it's going to wipe out a lot of fucking money here on Wall Street, and then some other unknowing people because they bought into the dream. But it's just different than what, like I'm telling you, the last time I told people to buy Bitcoin, it was at $10,000. That is a 10x. That's still 10K to 100K. That's good for a lot of people. But I don't know, like, to get that same return, you have to do 100K to $1 million. And now we're talking, that's a lot of money, dude. And that's a lot of people. And maybe it does. I'm not saying it won't happen. Maybe it does happen. Bitcoin has always surprised me, for crying out loud. So I'm not ruling it out, but I don't see it the same. Now you have big people, big money. It's already a ridiculous price people didn't imagine it would ever go to. And now you're doing this whole storyline. Oh, dude, I forgot to free the Chads. Oh, my bad. Sorry, Friday Junior. I just realized the time. We were just talking. But yeah, nothing really moved. That's it. But yeah, welcome back. I just freed him. I forgot. S-bet, bro. $10 since Skrelly. Bitcoin for... I like to sell Bitcoin and buy real estate. I've done that my whole life, but I've never collateralized a loan with Bitcoin. I've never... You weren't able to do that till recently, and then even then I would just rather cash out and then transfer it. Core weave down. Where's Nvidia? Yeah, core weave's still going. Yeah, S-bet was Skrelly, like 70 something. He said he's getting in it. S-bet. TR? We saw something with Travelers. Buy a VWAP. After an insane rally. Yeah, baby. Dude, our yield at cost is 9% or 10. So yeah, but remember though, yields are high. So 6.8 on MO sounds high, but interest rates are at 4 or 5. So in a weird way, Altria has kind of leveled out. The Core Weave Premium, that was from last week. I was looking at that for last week. This week, I made one play, made it free on Monday, and then that's it. That sucks, though. I had almost 10,000% on my other play. The last one I'm holding, and then now it's back to 4,000%. You got kicked out of the dealership for offering $68K for a 2LT? Did they actually kick you out of a car dealership? I've never had that happen. Usually I just walk out. Oh no. Okay, dude. Whoa, this computer froze for a second. Just got nasty. I'm too dramatic. Intel, yeah, because Intel's book value is higher. Let me see. I'm pretty sure Intel's book value, dude, is $22.50. Yeah, $22.87. So right now, Intel is trading at 0.88 price to book value. You are trading below book value by $1 or $2. Honestly, I really kind of want to buy more, sadly. But then again, I just think we got to burn another 6 months. And then it still might even move hella slow. But literally, it's trading below book value. So people aren't doubting that they own the assets they own, but that's why it won't go lower. Because it can't get much worse than trading below book until people think you're going to go bankrupt. So they don't think Intel will go bankrupt, but they pretty much just think Intel is worth what it's worth. A little bit less. All right, well, you just hit VWAP and then trip in 4 minutes away. Yeah, the court, we got that earlier. So this was around here. But now we know that even during all of these negotiations, there will still be tariffs in play. Etsy's below book value. So some of them, if it's not a big company, that just means people doubt the assets. And even if it was big, but Intel, you know, again, they own a lot of things. They have good assets. It's not like they're worthless, but, you know, if people really believe the company was going to go bankrupt, they would sell it well below book value. So sometimes that's not a good sign. Let's see. No. My book value on Etsy is negative $8.66. So yeah, that means they have more debt than assets and everything. There's something going on there. SGN. Didn't we see this before? I think they did something the other day. I want to say it's related to Bitcoin too. They're dead. Yeah, but Intel has a lot of assets. Make no mistake. They have stuff that's still like worth some money. So that's why, like, when you're buying a share, you get a little slice of that, but they own stuff, and the market still generally believes that those assets are worth something. They wouldn't be if the market really thought Intel was going to fail, then they would discount it and start selling it well below where it's at now. See, that's the thing. You're 100% right. Kohl's, their book value is $34 because of their real estate. But that's the thing. They can't unload this. They would have unloaded the real estate by now. They had problems with it. So anybody they could unload it to wouldn't be able to buy them. So yeah, but that's the thing. Right now, the market is heavily discounting their assets because they have a lot of assets. If you look at Kohl's assets, it's $34 a share. And the market believes they're discounting that 75%. They believe that, no, you got 25% of that. So yeah, they have real estate, but it is also discounted. That's what I'm saying. It's not always a good thing. SBET paused and then unhalted. Bro, 91 now. All right, well, they just paused it and then unhalted it. CoreWeave, no, their book value is $438. Federal appeals courts puts ruling that voided Trump's tariffs on hold. So they're just pumping the same thing now. If you guys weren't there, Synopsys, they cut their guide, and then really a lot of chips, even Nvidia, CoreWeave, just started dumping from there. PCE will be good for hard data, and then that's it. So it'll give you a little boost, but I do think these last couple of days kind of take over the show. But it's hard data, so that'll be nice to get an update, but other than that, nothing crazy. YouTube bugging. I know you got right when we free them. Hold on. Let me see. It's tweaking.
To retain that competitiveness and that position in the world, it was important to get this project done, and we give a lot of credit not only to our staff here at the port, but to our partners in the Corps of Engineers.
Ken, where are the products going right now? Where's LNG? Where's oil going?
So roughly 50% of the products that go out of here go to Europe, and then the rest is kind of spread across Asia and other parts of the world. We actually have one trading partner in Europe, Port of Rotterdam, that gets about 22% of the shipments that go out of the Port of Corpus Christi go into that single port. And that was critical during the time that Europe was trying to make a transition off of Russian energy, for example, in the wake of the invasion of Ukraine.
I am curious, as we kind of move forward, Ken, I mean, we talk about this idea, we have an administration now that has been incredibly supportive of this idea of not just energy independence, but the idea of being able to export the excesses that we have. The previous administration, for the most part, also was supportive of that as well. I am curious about the other side of the world, though. Given some of the geopolitical uncertainties out there right now, is there any concern about a threat to some of our partnerships and deals that we have with our overseas companies and countries?
So, of course, there's always, anytime you increase the political uncertainty around the world, you create that kind of concern. But the fact of the matter is demand for U.S.-produced energy, and particularly Texas-produced energy, remains strong around the world. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to trump all of your other concerns around politics. I don't see any slowdown right now. We're up about 5% year over year through the first 4 months of the year on shipments through this gateway. And so I think our customers, 94% of the products that move out of here are liquid energy. So I think that demand remains strong throughout the world.
And how are we doing with regards to just sentiment overall in your world, amongst your peers overall? Are you feeling optimistic right now about where things are going for your business long term?
So I think generally, particularly here at this port, which is an energy port, I think we still remain pretty optimistic. The demand not only in the U.S., and you are seeing tremendous increases in demand for U.S. energy in the U.S. because of data centers and AI and things such as that frankly, fossil fuels, traditional fossil fuels may not even be able to satisfy. So that's why it's important to continue to develop clean energies and those kind of things. But I think in other parts of the world, that demand also continues to remain strong. Any uncertainty you create, though, that may tip us into any sort of recession or downturn, then obviously starts to impact that.
I love that you brought up the intense demand within the U.S. There has been a narrative, in particular when it comes to LNG. More we export, the more prices rise here in the U.S., which makes natural gas within the U.S. less competitive. And we need that cheap gas. That's what's going to make manufacturing really work here. What have you noticed?
Yeah, so here in this port in particular, so the Port Authority, which is a small piece of the puzzle down here, we have about 200 people managing about $1.5 billion worth of infrastructure and assets.
Yeah, YouTube's lagging on my thing, saying the data.
But our customers are fairly large,
and so I try to adjust
you continue to see the pull on energy from customers here and tremendous demand overseas. I think time will tell, but markets for LNG, for crude oil, those kind of things, they're set on a much bigger scale than just what's going on here. Right now, there is adequate supply to meet the demand around the world. But if you look at future projections, I think you can see that starting to tighten up over time. And then you could reach a point where, yes, you're dealing with higher prices that are being set on a world market, but that are impacting investment here. We've had $65 billion of private investment over the last 10 years, and it was brought here because of cheap natural gas.
Yeah, but to that point, Ken, part of that competitive advantage, though, has been lower gas prices, and then even when you take into account the shipping fees, it's still a lot cheaper than getting gas from, say, Japan or Qatar.
Again,
do we maintain that competitive advantage?
All of these quotes sound like that thing
I think we do, at least in the near term, and I don't know what you call the near term, right?
Next do it another way.
7 to 10 years. And then after that, we're going to have to, I'm sure there will be some decisions and some rationalization that are going to have to be made.
And remember,
Ken,
the court
really
is
appreciate
saying
you taking time for us. Kent Britton there.
there's
He's
still
the CEO
tariffs
of the
for
Port
14
of
days.
Corpus Christi, of
Or not
course, as we
14
keep
days
an eye here
until
on
the
U.S.
appeal is
economic
done.
conditions, and we keep an eye on the
It was the
situation with
Washington
regards to our
court
trading partners and the breaking news that we had at the top of the hour. A U.S. appeals court temporarily putting on pause the ban on some of those Trump tariffs. Peter Navarro, now so the White House trade counselor, speaking to reporters just a little while ago, saying that they've already gotten calls from countries this morning for talks to continue. And he also said that the court told us to, quote, go do it another way, and that he is expecting to hear in the next day or two from the U.S. Trade Representative Jermaine Greer on this. So a lot of moving.
So that means either tomorrow, Friday, or maybe Saturday. So yeah, then we're gonna do this again, unfortunately. That sucks though. We should have taken the premiums early in the morning. We'll see where any of these end up, but essentially now you're doing it again like last weekend. Remember the EU drama? And then the EU, and then they push it back, and then yeah. So tomorrow we either hear something or we don't, or you hear it Saturday or you hear it Friday after the bell, and then we're gonna play that. But you know what just happened. There was a lot of uncertainty. Now you know the tariffs aren't going away, but if that appeal says the tariffs go away, then that will be really bullish. But if not, then I think we're just back to where we started, unfortunately. I think there was a big reaction. I mean, we were up again, almost 2%. And then just like the other day, we started to just sell off right at the morning. SGN, we saw it on the pop, but no, I didn't even play that the other day. I remember that one on one of the mornings. But yeah, I just had it up there on that first pop. I don't know if it was one of those Bitcoin related ones. But yeah, I think a mix of Navarro in the morning and then everybody working through, it's left us here. But that update from Reuters not too long ago, the fact that they will have tariffs during the appeal, that's it. Nothing happened. I don't know if they're going to return the money. I mean, if the appeals court says it was illegal, they have to return the money. But for now, they're going to probably keep collecting the money, hold it in that account, and then that's it until we find out. But again, like I said, for information's sake, we know that they're at least collecting money right now. So you got to realize, if they weren't allowed to collect the tariffs during the appeal, all of the import duties would have dropped. But now that they can, all the import duties today are the same as yesterday, regardless of whatever happened in the news. All right, man. Let's get an end of the day market checkup. Remember earlier, it was a little weird. In the beginning, it was very green, but then that faded. Wow. Dow has 22 names green. NVMI again, and then Cook. This thing looks a liquid. It's expensive, but it's going. High ticker getting a lot of momentum. 20 minutes left. 22 names green on the Dow, man. That's big. NASDAQ, 47 green, 54 red. It's literally 50-50. Was better, was worse at various points throughout the day. S&P 500, 341 in the green. Oh, come on. It's a lot better. They have been talking a lot. Navarro too, but we haven't heard from India, Japan, nor Korea. So those are the ones kind of, and they were teasing them, but we haven't heard much about them yet. And then, yeah, this kind of just threw everything there. $341 in the green. Hi, that's me. You apologize if this has been asked. What's my stance on a triple lever ETF for the long term? Dylan. Haha. Your fate now relies in the coin. Heads, I'll go ahead and let you survive. Tails, you get banned. Oh, that's tails. You're banned. Sorry. So that's your answer. I banned you for it. Meaning that's a very, very bad idea for the long term. And you should stay far away from it. And I hope a $5 lesson will save you millions in the future. Yeah, a lot of random names here at the end. NPWR, whatever that is. You had the SBET and then SGN. I'm gonna just let the coin decide from now on. I don't give a fuck. It's up to him now. I'll let the Lord decide. I'm done. That's it. No, you hit the rule, bro. You all talking wild. That coin just you gonna hear bing. And then you either gonna get banned or not. Yeah, whatever N power is, that one's going. Tesla too, I don't know what that dump was, but that was still at the low. That was a leader. But yeah, dude, that market breakdown, bro, it's pretty good. I'm surprised. SPY, everything has more advancers except the NASDAQ, but that's still 50-50. Actually, SPY's doing better than the NASDAQ and the Russell. Shit. The answer is intuitive. Dude, CoreWeave is insane today. But then again, there's bad news on these chip designers. CoreWeave is one of them, right? And then ARM. And then even Nibis started to get some. But then Synopsys, that was a fire one. That was a 500 to 1,000. 100 too, even if you were late. CDNS, that band too. Again, we got updates on all of them. UAL trim second quarter profit forecast and / summer fares. Scott Kirby cited air traffic and outages. All of these are old headlines. I'm getting a reiteration of a bunch of old headlines right now. And then Trump met with Powell. No one's talking about that. That's crazy. So some design the chips and others make them, yes. And some make the lasers. Some make the little pins. It's a wild, wild world. USB on the high as a bank. Again, we had good Wells Fargo news earlier, too. All right, we'll get ready to wrap it up. CRM gassing after selling off big off their earnings. That has the most volume out of anything, even compared to Nvidia. So yeah, wrap it up right at VWAP. Not a bad day, but back to normal. All of that was unnecessary. But yeah, we'll see what the appeals court ends up saying. I would just ignore everything that happened in the last 7 hours, Men in Black, and just go back to now whatever you were thinking ahead of yesterday. Yeah, and then we'll have PCE tomorrow, and then whatever White House or trade policy or judge is going to throw at us from here. I would start wrapping it up, baby. You got 15 minutes. A nice little rally could be good. Holly urged DOJ probe of Too Simple self-driving company. Or is it TS? I thought Too Simple was traded. Bro, Core Weave is disgusting. That's going to be nice if it bounces, but you better hope this don't end. Because that's it. Then if you go through the day, you got to get one of these in here. And then you'll get another run up. Yeah, a lot of industries still did good today. Even financials, dude. Finance is the best on this SPY. No way. Yeah, bro, it's very, very odd. Because it was everyone reacting in one way, but like you had a rotation. And Nvidia is still good. And NVO's now going up out of nowhere. So yeah, White House weighing plan to deal with record backlog of requests from refiners from U.S. biofuel law. Immediate relief for biofuel exemption requests and delayed decisions under older one. Planning to issue a rule to collect industry input on how to deal with biofuel exemption requests. Check Dominion. I don't know. And then any smaller biofuel companies. Nvidia and Dell to supply new Dunda supercomputer to Department of Energy. Yo, Dell and Nvidia. I don't know how big of a pop that'll be, but that's coming out now. It might not even pop, or I'm so early you can't tell. But yeah, that's coming out now. I don't know if that one's old too. A lot of them have been reiterated. So be careful. No play on that for now. None of the premiums moved. Yeah, biofuels and then Dell. Bro, Edwards, again, another medical device play. MDT and Edwards, both of them. I don't know, man. You might just get a fucking random ass penny stock. Dell has earnings. Maybe that's why it's not moving. Yeah, I don't know any other biofuel plays. And then NVO taking off now all of a sudden. I don't know if Eli Lilly kind of doing the same. And then ALC, Alcon. Everything's popping now. Welcome to 10-minute rig. They hate you. Is now your highest you've been in like 3 hours. So if that has any continuation, you'll be back up to a decent amount. Dell running. I think I was just mad early then, but it has. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Oh, those little fuckers. But that was just 10-minute rig, but they moved the premiums. DAR is a biofuel. Darling Ingredients? Really? I don't know. I don't know much about it. I heard people talking about cheap energy plays. That was one of those Bank of America notes a couple weeks ago. But that's it. That's the only one I know about. Okay, Nvidia popping out of nowhere. Well, just all 10-minute rig, man. So let's see. Again, some names still have a lot of volume that are supposed to come in. Navient. Isn't this student loans? We'll see. If this doesn't have continuation, it's a dud. If it does, though, if you rip in the close, this changes the whole dynamic. But either way, they scammed a lot of premiums today. But you should have just sold. I should have sold in the morning. That's fucking our fault. No, yeah, this is just 10-minute rig move. It's still 1/3%. Not bad, but considering everything you had to fucking deal with today, that was crazy. All for it to go nowhere. You literally took, that would be like somebody asking for directions, and they're like, how do I go straight? They're like, so you go here, then you make a right, and then immediately you make another right, then take a few more steps, and then take another right, and then after another 30 steps, take another right. You should have just told me to go straight. I don't get it. So yeah, this is ridiculous. Well, that's the thing. Another tariff, even if the court said he can't do it, the other tariff would allow him to still go ahead with tariffs. They just would not be as high. That's why, that's bullish. Because if Trump doesn't get the appeal, max tariff baseline is going to be 10%. That's it. And that's bullish. Market could easily, everybody would love that. But other than that, if he gets the appeal, then he could do the 50, 100, and whatever else he wants. It probably will, but at the end of the day, you at least know that there will still be tariffs, a high rate that is negotiable until the Supreme Court or the appeals court had go, because then you got to go through that too. I don't think the appeals court is not the Supreme Court. So it has to go through the trade court, the appeals court there, and then if that goes through or not, then it will go to the Supreme Court, most likely. All right, well, now that no follow through, they hate you. Either way, they hate you. But yeah, you're just back now to the, you went from highest move in the last 3-4 hours back to where you spent the last 3-4 hours. Ta-da! Tariff percentage is a big key to look for, but I would say realistically right now, all that matters is the appeal court. That, and amongst other things, amongst rates, hard data, all of that, you know. There's still a lot of things we got to juggle, but as far as today and the developments that we got, I would just really be concerned with the appeals court. Because that's it. Because if they let them go through or not, then we could talk about rates. But yeah, man, get ready to wrap it up. Final 5 in like 10 seconds, so by the time you hear this, it'll already be there. So yeah, get ready. Core weave, dude. 130 to 105 in a day. Bro, it's like 20-30%.
On the next episode of The Stock Market Hates You, as traders line up to buy on the cancellation of tariffs, the cancellation of the tariffs gets canceled and they cancel the cancellation, sending it to the court. But now it has to go to 2 to 3 more courts before they could do anything, and now nothing has changed. Although they are all expecting unexpected and have no idea, the market maker robs them all. Find out what happens tomorrow as Navarro, Lutnick, and many others hint at possible trade deals.
Nah, Boeing was relentless on the chase. Boeing had a multi-crazy percent move, bro. And then they just had pause, red light. But yeah, core weave was crazy though in the morning. That premium was high. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistrade. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I sold my long term today. Tell me why ain't nothing but a bad trade. Tell me. Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you got 3 minutes, man. That's the market's dancing. I might as well sing. You know what I'm saying? But wrap it up, rapper-rooney. I'm gonna get loud. I'm already singing. So yeah, that's it, man. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. See, there was days where you were mad that you sold early. And then these are the days you don't get mad selling early. I know. So get ready, baby. Wrap it up. Tomorrow's Friday. Anything could happen. I will tell you now. Whatever you think happened, nothing happened. And now anything can happen. But for real, though, like, it's been a weird week. We started off with wild surprises from Europe down to now all of this stuff. So, yeah, man, just get ready. We'll see where it leads us. I hope you're ready for all of it, but wrap it up, Chatadonia. Wrap it up. Oh, you guys like the Backstreet Boys. That's good. That's good. Then we did good, baby. We did good. A lot of energy. Conoco, Hess. Again, we did hear about biofuels and some other ones. And now BMY, more staples, more pharma, healthcare. They're all doing good. So, Rapperoonie, Chad. Right there. All right, man. Did ARM, all the chip designers are down still. Again, you got Dell after the bell, I believe. Hamas says Witkoff proposal still under discussion. I never want to hear you say. All right, man. Chatadonia, you only have 1 minute! Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Shares, options, futures. What are you going to do, baby? You got to wrap it up. Tomorrow's Friday. You already saw what they could do. Look at the market right now. Look at the screen, bro. You already know, okay? That's it. Anything could happen. This week is testament to that, bro. Bring it home. You got less than 10 seconds now. Wrap it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding 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 ding. Hard on. Oh, Chatadonia. Chatadonia, are you kidding me? We did it, we made it, baby. 7 hours in the books. I need a good game. Drop those GGs, baby. Let's go. It don't matter if you made money or lost money. I know you learned something. Everybody that contributed brought something to the table. The coin didn't determine your fate. You did. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't get... How did you not get banned, bro? Are you serious, bro? Josh is insane. He thinks he's God. Something's wrong with him and he didn't get banned? That's crazy. Good for you. Because Josh is cuckoo. I don't know how you didn't get banned. I'm so scared to talk right now. Good game. That's what I'm talking about. You got the wrong term or what? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Thank you. Thank you for your time. If you fail, try again. Get a long term. Stop wasting your time. You let go, you'll get it all. Amen. You need a rock. You won't see me a lot. Monday through Friday, you see me, let's talk. Oh, this comes on? Draco? How does Draco come on next? My car came with umbrellas in it. Oh, man. I don't think we got Uncle today, bro. Yeah, Chad, that's the day.
It's a call, baby.
Have a good day. God bless America. Thank you, veterans.
Yeah. Ask me if I'm holding stocks, please don't be ridiculous. I was holding shit and buying dips, you were a little kid. All I want is ownership, but I still put a limit in. No matter if you young, you could always use a dividend. Know you want the money, I suggest you do not rush with it. Dias aren't plans, make sure you don't fall in love with it. You ain't never saved, by the second month you double it. Trading foreign currencies, I don't need a dumb on it. I don't need a translator, nod my head and run with it. Amu always said, never marry but have fun with it. Mama said that's wrong, but deep down I always fuck with it. If you don't like my plan, do your thing, I wish you luck with it. Why they call me fan, but I don't see them at the holidays. Say that you're a man, but on the internet you talking gay. Go ahead, you could cancel me, but don't act like you ever pay. You look dumb as fuck if only one of us is playing charades. Stop asking what I mean, bitch, that wasn't a parable. Just because they copied me don't mean that we're comparable. You support the phony, that just means your judgment terrible. An iPhone in your hands, you're a narc, that's a wearable. Didn't buy the stock, it was down, right in front of you. Didn't say I lost, my account looked like a W. You don't got the long term, it's hard for me to fuck with you. If you can't pay yourself, then I wouldn't put my trust in you. Fuck it, dude. Hold my dick, I won't hold my tongue. Remember they were talking shit about Amazon when I was young. Oh wait, they did the same, it was Meta right in front of them. Think they'd have a little bit of shame from always looking dumb. Nah, they on a diet and it's humble pie. It's 2025, you could kick it, you ain't gotta lie. Made $1 million buying value, I don't buy the hype. My girl is really classy, all you ratchet bitches not my type. Why? They don't buy it till it reached the high. You picked the right thing, but you also picked an awful time. You would be surprised how making money make you fall behind. Maybe I offended, but that doesn't mean I told a lie. Wow, you really like it when they lie to you, ignoring all the things you hear, denying what the eye produce. Helpful isn't friendly if they helping you to tie the noose. You teach them how to steal your money every time you live and lose. Damn, I won't lie, my mama taught me that. Whoever sold you all those courses, you should probably take it back. It's all a bunch of bullshit, you would learn more if they told you that. I know you know the truth, so you still got time to go to that.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Rimble.
Dog, he's playing my gym playlist. You know, that's why he keeps going back and forth to Draco and Remble and Uncle. It's a hard playlist, bro. I'm telling you, get some Draco, get some Remble, and then get you some Uncle in there, bro. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. And then, bro, I've been shooting around in the gym, dog. You know that yesterday? I had an audience yesterday. Little did they know, bro. Oh, there's Dell, gone. $2. Popeye, $4. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't even... Did it come out? I think Skyworks came out. Well, hold on. I don't really care about it as much unless you took those Dell plays at the end of the day. Ulta. Oh, they had earnings? I hope they do bad. Yeah, Dell came out. There it is. There he is. Please hold as I connect your Dell. Yeah, Dell and Ulta. And Marvel. Nah, Dell's killing it, bro. Dell's gonna rip. That's crazy. That's already 10%. Oh, I should have took those calls. I was looking at them. So Dell EPS 137, adjusted 155, net 965, revenue 23.8 billion. Let me see where it goes against. Seems like a solid ad. Dude, Dell doesn't really move. You guys remember, they have like 1 or 2 good quarters, but they don't really move like that. So, yeah, revenue guide was 23.1. They did 23.88. So, the highest guide was 23.5. That's what they gave out there. So, they wrecked it. EPS 170 versus guidance of 165. EPS was a little off, surprisingly. Adjusted was 155. Even non-adjusted, they missed. Yeah, so that's not as good. But the revenue is strong, and then, I don't know. Where is the guidance? Capital return. Second quarter EPS expected to be at 185. Up 50 over year. That's lower than last quarter, but plus or minus 15. Full year diluted EPS to be $7.99 to $7.40. That seems lower. I think they guided down on full year. I don't know if Trump's talking. There was Russia headlines, and then full year revenue between 101 and 105 billion at the midpoint of 103. So that's the same. I don't know. The EPS full year guide looks a little softer. Full year revenue 28 and 20. I know. I think next quarter was a guide up. But then the full year EPS guide a little lower. But yeah, not bad. Actually really good compared. Like I say, most companies didn't do bad. You know, like all these chip AI ones, it wasn't bad reporting, even though there was so much fear. U.S. tells Security Council additional Russian sanctions are on the table. There's a UN Security Council, but no, I don't see Trump. All right. Where's Ulta? Ulta's up $20. I just hope they did bad, but no. That might be the only makeup company doing good, huh? Ulti. Yeah, so Ulta, they see full year EPS $22.65 to $23.20. So previous guide was $22.50 to $22.90. So they guided up. Full year sales $11.5 to $11.7. They raised it a little bit by the bottom end, $100 million. And then first quarter sales $2.85 they beat versus $2.79. And then EPS $6.70 versus $5.80. Yeah, they killed it. Oh, Ulta did very good. All things considered, I mean, again, Elf did bad and then still went up. So, yeah, not bad. Yeah, and then Dell, operating income was a little lower. Adjusted EPS was lower. Revenue smashed. And then EPS next quarter higher. Revenue a lot higher. And then full year guide a little bit lower. And then AI server backlog doubled. All right, and then Ulta, man. Well, there it is, Chad. Oh, yeah, I forgot my background. I did want some Ulta. We did have it at 360. That was our moment. You know, it was just there. 320, bro. Last quarter, last month. It was there, but I wanted more. That was a strong company, bro. It wouldn't get cheaper. Even with Buffett in and out, nothing, bro. UiPath. Whoa. Did that have earnings? Hi. My name is Rumble. Yeah, they did. They beat. So yeah, I guess Powell still is unsure then. Cadence Design confirms BIS letter over chips. Mondelez headline. And yeah, Ulta killed it. Dell did decent. I think Dell's revenue this quarter and next all really high. EPS a little soft. Yeah, again, like I told you, the guide on EPS. But it was up a lot. That 10% was big. But yeah, other than that, Chad, I love you. God bless you. That is your day. It is Thursday. Friday, Junior. I think we'll have a watch list. Unless this guy wants to give me his house. We'll see. But Chadadonia, I love you. God bless you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and get a good workout in if you can. But we have to end this wild week, bro. And dude, we might just have some more craziness. By the time I get back from the gym and wake up, I've already watched the world change many times just to go back to normal. So, oh yeah, get ready. But Chad, thank you for your time. God bless you. Enjoy your day. Go read the books, Richest Man of Babylon, Proverbs, New Living Translation, and The Strangest Secret in the World. And don't forget why we're here, why we keep going, why that faith, hope, and love ain't ever going out of style, and why you are detached. Life will flow through you, where you accept it. You don't need to cling to it, baby. Why, baby? Why? Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone. Amen. Amen. So, Chad, enjoy your day. Enjoy your evening. I will see you tonight, hopefully. If not, I'll tweet. And then, yeah, that's it, man. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. All right, man. I love you. That's it, man. But have a good one. Peace. Yeah, bye. I love to meditate. Am I in the gym? Where am I? Don't get me lost again. Hey. Ask Jill. I'm fine. Jill, tell him. Ask Jill. Jill's a writer. That's my girl right there. She'll lie on the stand for me. Fuck you. Yeah. Tell him I'm fine, Jill. Yeah, tell him. Look him in the eye. Tell him I'm okay. Yeah, fuck yeah. Feed me the smoothie. I'm hungry, thirsty. I don't know, Joe. I don't know. I could respect it, but I don't know. Surprisingly, I have nothing to say about judges. Ironically, even though today was a big deal, I decided to not go to Truth Social to talk about it. I don't know why, but I felt like today I'll do what Joe did, and I'll keep my mouth shut. But I got something to type. Either way, I love you. Have a good day. You guys did better than yesterday. It cost you 20 seconds. All right, we'll negotiate. We'll see tomorrow.